Bubba the Love Sponge.
Roger. Brace for auditory impact. 10 seconds there. 1, 2. Ball pre-record on my count.
May I have your attention, please? Bubba decided to take off this week, so this is what we call the best of Bubba.
We're ready to go into fast time if you are.
For all you counter-programmers out there, we know this is recycled material, some or all of which you may not approve. Do us all a favor and save your emails and chat cancer comments. They will just be filed in the Go F*** Yourself department.
Doing a real good show up there, and I think we're proving our point, old buddy.
Thanks for your attention to this matter.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. The Bubba the Love Sponge show. And this is just the start of my nearly 1 month. My nearly 1 month of craziness. As last night was the first night of the Winter Nationals at my track, open wheel modifieds and the king of the street stocks. And last night was just practice. But I'm working with Macho Man to not only are they working on getting the cream machine ready for in like 2 weeks so that I can do go live after the Lucas late model feature each night live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Live from the pits, the top three. So we're working on the cream machine is back and is fully functional. And my buddy Terry, which by the way, Dan was Terry was a no-show for the party. He was
absolutely at the party.
He was?
Yep, another oversight.
Wow. Just another one of my guys I didn't get to see.
Mm-hmm. He was there with his wife.
He was?
Nice.
I missed.
Yeah.
I missed.
Old Terry Run.
Well,
Love that guy. He's taken so many thorns out of so many paws. It's amazing.
He has taken, and he's the best. I went to go pay him for my cream machine, and I was like, "What I owe you, Terry?" He's like, "Well, here's what and he give me an itemization."
He's not good with money. I wish he had a little bit more Seth in him, and he'd be a rich man. And I'm saying that in a nice way, Seth.
I wish I had more Seth in me, too, so I could be rich.
Yeah. Seth's like, I'm just getting by on being Seth, but if I was Seth plus, man.
This guy works his ass off.
Here's his problem.
I undercut myself. I've had two people tell me when I've tried to get jobs, and they asked how much I wanted. They told me I was selling myself too short.
Really?
Yeah, I try to come in low to not, push anybody away with money.
But then he'll bug you about money the entire time he's here.
I haven't said one word about money since Anna got fired.
Well, I mean, you say something about money every day, buddy.
No, I don't.
mean, it's your base
No,
model.
I don't, Bubba. You make that my base. You make that my character. But I don't say anything about money. I haven't said one word to you about money.
No, not to me in life. Like swapping cards and all that kind of deal. That's why when you go to Daniel Rose's deal, I want to make sure Babyface goes with you because you do kind of undervalue what you have sometimes.
So you're not a great negotiator, is what you're saying?
No, I'm not.
And I didn't mean that you talk to me about money, but just you don't do good with money. Meaning like
2,000 years ago, if he went with a bag of wheat to the market, he'd come home with an apple.
I don't know if he gets screwed that bad, but I mean I don't know. Maybe he might come home with a donkey.
Right.
I mean I don't know.
Yeah.
He's so
riding it the hard way.
He thinks so. He always has Sammy in his best interest. So
right.
he could have gone to the market with wheat and he needed food, but he saw that little donkey that Sammy would love to have ridden, ride. So he brings the donkey home, and then he didn't have he just doesn't have, he can't kill the donkey.
She can negotiate.
Oh.
She needs to be your
You're
you need to bring
raging.
her to the card swap,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Because you want negotiation is all about leverage.
Yeah, but here's the
and
deal.
that's why girls are good at poker, because you can't beat up a chick in poker. You can't be mean to a girl in poker. If you get your daughter helping you negotiate,
oh my God,
people will cave in. They'll pay you 4 times the value of that thing in front of you.
You just whisper into Sammy's ear what you want for that card. Seth, maybe you would have gotten 26, but you tell Sammy 44.
Right.
Yeah.
And Sammy goes, hey, we can start out at 50. And then next thing you know, Sammy's at 44. You would have been at 30.
Yeah, dude, I guarantee you drive her to the card swap and you're coming home in a Corvette.
Yeah. Sammy's the kind of kid, how many stories have you seen where a kid started out with like a pencil,
right,
and he ended up with a Porsche?
Yeah, exactly. She's that person.
Yeah, she is. Give her about 3 years when she gets into middle school and she's there.
Give Seth the Porsche, he comes home with a pencil. Look, it's purple.
Oh, so anyway,
she'd be good though. She's got that gift of gab, Sophia was like that as a kid, but she's kind of not as aggressive these days. But you ought to nurture it, man.
As unaggressive as you are, Sammy's got the aggressiveness. She can negotiate.
Absolutely.
My sister was like, man, Sammy came over. I love that kid. She's so cute. You wouldn't believe how smart she is, but she left with like $26.
God, don't tell you. She's a secret to your rich.
I don't know how she did it, but she worked me out of 26.
She's incredible.
She paid for the gas and Seth's lunch on the way home. So anyway, last night was practice, but looking like we're gonna probably get rained out tonight, which sucks because I got to go up there and be there the same time, and get the track ready, because Florida, it could be calling for 50% like rain, and then it doesn't get rain. So I have to get the track ready as if we were gonna race, but the rain shower could come and wipe us out.
Yeah, they keep pushing it back with the rain shower when it's supposed to start.
Well, the rain this morning.
Well, I'm not talking about. See, Tampa and Ocala's got way two different weather systems.
Yes.
I mean, that 110 miles makes a huge difference.
I was looking up the Ocala one. It's just because it showed earlier yesterday when I looked.
Well, yesterday I think it was supposed to start maybe at 4 o'clock.
Correct.
And now what do they got to push back now?
They have it pushed back to about 7, 8 o'clock.
See, so that's even worse.
Yeah.
So that means I would get my races started, and then we would rain out in the middle of the races. Now that
What
means,
do you do when that happens?
Well, you issue everybody a rain check, and they come back the next night.
Nice.
Because the races aren't official until you get all the heat races in. Now, if you do get all the heat races in, it is considered official. But boy, you will piss off everybody because
if you shut down after the heat races, it's because it's drizzling.
Well, because here's the deal. It says in the rule book, and all dirt tracks pretty much have the same rule, that it's officially a night if you can get all the heat races in. Well, the thing about it is heat races don't pay anything. So you collect everybody's money to get in. And like for instance, I think the street stocks pay $2,000 tonight. Mm-hmm. Well, that guy, they ran his heat race, and to win the heat race, you don't win any money. It just basically the heat race determines where you start the feature. So if we get all the heat races in, then rain comes.
Or even if Bubba Noah just puts his hand out and says it's going to rain, you can just call it, right?
You can't call it.
Oh, okay.
No, you got to have rain.
You got to have it.
Rain on the facility.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm on weather.com, and they're showing 50-50 all the way till 9 o'clock.
So you can ride that.
9 o'clock, then it's 99% at 9 o'clock.
And then you'll get rain, but it's not hard enough to flood out the track. So then you get all your equipment on the track to start drying it. You got your tiller, you got your packer trucks, you got your sheep's foot, you got your grader, and you're just burning diesel. I mean, you're just $300-400 of diesel to try to maintain the track under the light mist, and then it stops, and you get it rolled in, and then it just comes it down. Yeah, it's owning a racetrack wasn't one of my smarter moves in life. I mean, it's cool, it's prestigious. I bought it when Tyler was up and coming.
Yeah, but if he wasn't a bozo, he'd be a multi-million-dollar NASCAR driver right now, dude. And that's the problem. It's like you didn't mess that up. That was a great investment. You're just your racehorse just broke his ankle.
Well, my racehorse got some racehorse ass,
right?
And it didn't. And he said, "I don't want to run anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to chase this ass in the field."
Now he's like a gelding.
Oh, I heard a story about him last night that I don't even want to repeat on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to bring up bad stuff.
Well, that's bad stuff.
Okay, talk about it.
Speaking of bad stuff, my good friend Larry Plummer, who's the biggest Notre Dame fan in the history of, don't forget, Warsaw, Indiana is only about 45 miles from Notre Dame. So let me it would be like, yeah, I'm trying to think like it would be like the way we feel about. Maybe if we didn't have USF, obviously
like Jacksonville or like Florida or something.
It would be like UF then, right?
UCF.
Well, no, because I'm trying to think. Warsaw's only 40 miles, so I can't think of really the only university that would be within 40 miles of here would be USF. But that's our hometown team.
Yeah,
and Warsaw doesn't actually have a hometown college.
It would be like UCF, probably.
Probably something like that.
Orlando.
But
I mean,
Florida Southern, Lakeland.
Yeah, I think it'd be UCF, and Notre Dame has a lot of fans in Chicago and Illinois too.
Oh,
they do. It's all. I mean, my dad still loves Notre Dame.
That's one of they've played games in Soldier Field before. Notre Dame's. I don't know if you know that or not, but Notre Dame's played games in Soldier Field just to
back in the day.
No, I think.
No, pretty recent.
Fairly recent, just because they have such a huge Chicago presence.
Yes.
And the reason why is Chicago's only about like an hour and 10 minutes away from Notre Dame, like maybe 60 miles.
Do they bus, I guess?
Yeah. When Notre Dame plays in Soldier Field, they just bus. And they usually just bus morning of. So they won't even get out. I don't think they even spend the night. But Chicago's the biggest city. Chicago's the third, and I think in the Nielsen Arbitron city deal, I think Chicago's third or fourth.
Third
largest, yes. Third largest city.
So it goes New York, LA, Chicago?
Goes New York, LA, Chicago, yes.
Does anything jump LA now because of the fires, or do they still keep their spot?
I don't know.
Do they even have electricity in LA?
I don't know. I don't know what
Are the fires still going?
Mm-hmm.
Are they
okay?
Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
It can't be very. Can't be. Can't be. I mean, it can't be very much.
I mean, I don't think it's like the campfire where like all the wood's burned and there's just a couple little edges left. I think it continues to spread. It's just not as populated areas.
Yeah,
this inauguration just really took my focus off of the fires. I figured that they had stopped.
I didn't get a chance to watch any of the inauguration at all, except I was on the old Greater Lumby that we have the sheep's foot, the new sheep's foot that I got from East Bay hooked up to.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm driving it, trying to compact the soil, and I'm trying to pull up on X, and I hear basically the only part of the inauguration that I watched was Miranda Lambert. Is that her name? No.
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood's America the Beautiful, or
she went a cappella, right?
And
her equipment wasn't working, I think.
She nailed it.
She's a great singer.
She nailed it. And then my feed, because I'm in Ocala, and they don't got the worst self-service ever. So then that's all I got to see. Because you got to kind of pay attention when you're pulling a 4,000-pound implement.
Yeah.
You missed a lot, Bubba. There's all kinds of stuff that happened yesterday.
I know. And you really, Lummy and you both have sent me a bunch of stuff.
There's just so much.
From Melania's big hat to Elon showing his true Nazi colors.
I was just getting ready to say, Melania is beautiful, but I don't think that having a hat where you can't see your eyes and you look like a spy, I don't think she bettered herself.
Ivanka wore a weird hat, too. She looked like it was like a military hat. It looked like a Green Beret hat.
I don't know, if their second term they want to hide their eyes. I don't know. And like Seth said, nothing. I mean, like her body language, even when they did the formal dance with Donald and his wife, she just looked like she was that. She looked like that guy that was pushing his special teams coach off of him. Remember?
Yeah.
She looked like that.
Yeah, pushing
dude.
the Texans special team coach.
Yeah. I mean, she just. I don't know, man. She's so beautiful. Why would you? And Donald couldn't even come in and get a kiss. He got brimmed. He went in there he went in for a kiss. I got it. I got Seth or let me send it to me. I got it. And he goes in for after they swear him in and he's official. It's official.
She doesn't want any part of these 4 years, man.
He goes in for a kiss and she brims him. He doesn't even get 2 inches from her.
Wow.
So I don't know, man.
She's gonna be helping Barron get to college for the next 4 years. By the way, Barron almost knocked out Elon Musk yesterday.
Really?
Oh yeah, he was annoying the hell out of Barron.
Yeah, Well, he's a freshman, I think.
Yeah, in college.
Columbia?
Yeah.
Where's he go? Columbia?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, back to my Notre Dame deal. It wasn't even really close. I guess it got to within 9.
8.
It got within 8. What wasn't 8 the over under?
Yes, it was 8.5.
Isn't it?
It's incredible, isn't that?
It's just.
Lummy was happy at that time.
Here's
Lummy
the
was sad at the
Here's the
end.
deal.
Oh no, Lummy lost.
Lummy lost.
Oh.
Here's the deal.
Let me stay up late and lost.
They come up yesterday. They come out with the odds at 8, 8.5, and you're like, where do you come up with this number? Come on, that's pretty big blowout for the national championship, thing. And God dang, they're right.
Yeah, they were right there at 8.5. And then,
how?
Oh, I mean, because it was weird. Ohio State could have taken it and he ended it, and then they scored, I think, with a minute left just to really put it in.
If that doesn't show you that somebody's somewhere, somehow talking to somebody.
Who? What? Where? When? Why?
I'm just saying, Seth.
Who's talking to whom?
I mean,
Somebody's talking to somebody, Bubba. I agree.
Is Ryan Day, the coach of Ohio State, talking to Vegas? Is that
I mean, here's the deal.
Maybe he was talking to God.
No. Somebody, Ryan Day himself probably is not talking to anybody in Vegas.
Okay, he's not involved in this scam.
But one of his close boys, one of his Jimmy Cleavises, because you know Dan how stealth Jimmy Cleavis is.
Right, he's invisible.
Like Jimmy Cleavis. I was sitting by him at Saturday night with Steve and Krista and you, and we're all talking, and Jimmy's just taking it in, just taking it all in. And he could have had the most. You know what? Jimmy Cleavis could have won Powerball the night before. And if you and I were there, we'd be like, man, guess what? We won Powerball. Steve, I'm getting you a brand new this. And Jay, I'm getting you a brand new this. And Danny, I'm getting you a brand. We'd just be, beside ourselves. Jimmy could have won Powerball the night before, and he wouldn't even tell us until he'd take us to side. Hey, I just want to let you know I won Powerball. If you want anything, let me know. Like that, am I right?
Yeah, and then he'll do a Chris Angel and vanish.
No, we not with his boys.
No, he still does sometimes though. He's incredible how stealth he is.
How Irish goodbye-ish he is.
Oh my God, dude! He will just hit that button, gone.
So here's the thing, Seth. Maybe the day coach doesn't have a direct line to Vegas, but he's got one of his boys that knows exactly what the line is.
So what's he getting out of this?
I mean, one of his boys makes a lot of money.
One of his, okay, all right.
Look, Seth, I thought, my grandfather when I was a kid said everything is fixed. And I doubted him until that referee from basketball got in so much trouble. And I remember the games that guy was
I had him
distorting.
on the air. Don, I had him on the air.
And it proved to me that there's tons of this going on.
But
it's so much they can't investigate all of it.
But what about when you were in? But Dan, when you worked with the Bucks and your dad worked with the Bucks. I mean, there was no. You were in it.
I would get a briefcase every couple of weeks. A big black briefcase. It would shine gold when I opened it. And we'd take care of business.
That's what I'm saying. You were in the mix. You were helping players get better.
But he was so far removed
to having.
But that's like that's where where Dan was is where people from Vegas would want insight as far as our players healthy, our players going to play, like what's going on. So
that helps him set the line. But what the line set, you got to get word.
You got to steer to it.
You got to get word back to the coach or whoever determines how much you score, what the line is. So Dan would be so far removed on getting word back to the coach. Like it would be like one of the coach's cousins or for real.
You got some sort of real complex scam here, which is friends and cousins.
Well, I mean, hold on.
Like when Tiger would be on the sideline, he'd be like, hey, John,
John.
I bet 10 on this.
No. He wouldn't even say that. He would just say, the boys, hey, listen, the boys got the line 7. The line 7, we're up by 4 right now. We can take a knee. We're on the 25-yard line. We can take a knee and win by 4. Or we're up by 5. The line 7, we can take a knee, or we can just go punch a field goal in there, and the boys will probably be, pretty happy. And then the boys are the ones that take care of you when you need something taken care of. So what Scruton does, he burns a timeout. Dude, I'm not taking a knee. We're kicking a field goal. I always get to points when I can.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes. How else do you explain Ohio State could have taken a knee? They could have taken a knee, Lummy. If you look at the fourth quarter, they only scored 3 points, which was
Notre Dame only had one timeout left, so yeah.
They could have taken a knee and burnt in the game over.
I thought Vegas just knows. That's the mystique of it. It's the pit bosses. They know what's going on.
They do just know, but they also send word. They somehow get word back to those that are influential and scoring or defending points.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if this is true, if all sports and all games are rigged, then I hope that this is blown up and exposed before I leave this earth, because I would really like to see how all of this played out.
Well, I mean, it's hard to beat the Kansas City Chiefs because you're playing against 14 players. I mean, if you count the refs, it's disgusting how the refs have manipulated so many games this season.
Yeah, we talked about it kind of on the after show yesterday because we did a sports show, and I didn't know if it's more of like, are the referees looking out for quarterbacks and specifically Patrick Mahomes, or are the Chiefs just putting themselves in position to where they get a call like that and they're able to capitalize and win because they're a great team? I mean, I don't know.
I think it's probably, to be honest with you, I think it's probably a little bit of both.
The calls were bad, though, on Mahomes on Sunday.
Did you see where the NFL issued an $8,400 fine against the guy that tackled the Packer kick returner who fumbled? The league issued an $8,400 helmet-to-helmet fine on the guy. Now, how can a guy get after the fact? How can the guy get a fine for helmet-to-helmet, but yet it was never called on the field? Doesn't that show you they missed it on the field?
Yeah, they do that all the time.
No, I know that, but doesn't that validate then, Rhett, that they missed it on the field?
Yeah, I'd say on an average of 2 to 3 weeks, they admit that they missed something. So
right.
This stuff is par for the course. I will say, would you say it was $8,500?
Yeah, $8,500.
That's kind of cheap compared to some of these fines they throw around.
I don't think he got. I think because he
changed the game.
He tested. It did change the game.
Changed the entire playoff picture.
Yeah,
that one play.
Yep, that one play.
But you know what? I don't think the NFL cares about Green Bay right now. I don't think that's what they're really focusing on. I think they're focusing on Kansas City. I think they focused a lot on some of the really impressive young quarterbacks, like from Baltimore and Washington.
I think they're all in on
Buffalo.
Chicago. I think they're all in on the Barkley kid, and they're all in on the Daniels kid. And I think that they're maybe a little bit in on the Chiefs, but they can tell America's kind of getting tired of the Chiefs. And they're all in on the who plays the Chiefs?
Bills.
The Bills. I think they're all in on Josh Allen.
Who do you hate more, the Chiefs now, or did you hate the Patriots like 5 years ago?
I hated the Patriots because that's just you couldn't beat them.
I appreciated the Patriots when they were winning, just because my team was so horrible. I appreciated the excellence of the Patriots, and I feel like a little of that's being sullied with the Chiefs and all the calls that they're getting. But I still feel like they're in a dynasty. They've had a little bit of help this year, but I still feel like what those guys have done and where Patrick Mahomes is going is nowhere but the top.
And let's not forget that the Patriots got screwed on they didn't get the calls as much as the Chiefs did. Remember, they got screwed on that Oakland fumble. That
Tuck rule.
Yeah, was that what they called, Tuck rule?
Yeah.
They went on to make a rule about that, but they got screwed on that.
Who did?
The Patriots. Didn't the Patriots get
I thought they ended up
No,
calling that
they're
not
the
a,
ones in there. That was their first Super Bowl
that
win.
was, I'm sorry.
The
They-
Raiders got screwed.
The Raiders got screwed.
Which got us John Gruden.
No one likes the Raiders.
Okay, so now that started their path on to like with how they're treating the Chiefs now.
2001.
So
Well, remember, Bill Belichick was full on out there recording other people's practices.
yeah, oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
Between
little
that
bit,
and,
there's a
and
little
having
bit-
2 pounds less pounds, and listen, man, I got to tell you, if you know anything about football and you deflate a ball by 2 pounds, it is that much easier to catch.
Yes, it is.
And Dan and I know that because Dan didn't know it until when I helped coach his team. Of course, they had him pumped up to regulation 15. I go, Dan, give me an inflation needle. And I took 2 pounds out.
Did you really deflate gate the Little League games?
Yes, I did.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I did. And you know what?
There's no rule.
I bet you our drop percentage went down by 50%.
Probably by 30. Yeah.
Because it's just easier to catch something that's not inflated as much. Because the thing that you're catching has give to it, and your hands can grasp it better. But I mean, from Deflategate to, you're right, Seth. He was getting full blown practices from the Bills, he had he had guys going to the game and like taping the.
I think that was Michigan. I think he had. I don't know what he had. Didn't he have Didn't he have somebody up in like a tower or something?
Yeah, Spygate.
Spygate. Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, so the Chiefs don't necessarily have that.
We don't know
That
about.
well,
What about
Andy
the baseball
Reid's-
team? What about the baseball
Andy
team?
Reid's
oh, the
an-
Astros.
Astros.
Oh, they
it was
cast-
like slap in the trash can.
Yeah.
Oh, now that.
Come on, that's
You know what?
That's
For the life
disgusting.
of me, for the life of me, I can't see how they did penalize them. I know they did, but
I would have just suspend the whole team.
all those guys,
these-
Bubba, all those coaches, like the guys that like they all got jobs back. Like they
Yeah.
got suspended for a year, but nothing really happened to those guys at all.
right, and that was, that
Because-
was absolutely flagrant. Like
That's-
that
yeah,
was.
worse than Pete Rose and anything Pete Rose ever
It's
did.
because all baseball teams cheat. We had Heathcott on. Remember, he was the runner for the Yankees.
Oh yeah, he said a lot of, but electronically, I think is what the Astros were doing. I think
and
other
not only
teams were
that,
kind of
but-
doing old school.
No, he was doing they were doing
Were
the
they?
Yankees had a computer set up. They were working with the camera guys. They were working with the score guys because if a light would flash and the scoreboard, or if a camera guy was standing to the left or standing to the right, it was an off speed. If a camera guy was to the left, it was a fastball. They all do it. That's why it wasn't. The Astros got caught, and they had to make an example
But
of
the
just that team.
Astros had such a brilliant but yet egregious, way they were doing it, with somebody pounding a trash can, and so that
Yeah.
people were just thinking it was somebody hitting a drum in the audience and be like, it was like. Or it wasn't like 2 for a fastball, 1 for a curve, 3
like
for a
Paul
slider.
Revere.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, they just
And
were
you know how
obnoxious
much,
about it.
listen, all of us know, everybody knows that baseball, all hitters, maybe the last real hitter might have been might have been Ted Williams, where they said Ted Williams could actually pick up the seams because he was a fighter pilot back in the day, but he could pick up the seams of a ball.
Yeah.
But most of it, because pitching has gotten so good, that most of it, I think that most of hitting is guessing the right pitch.
It's guessing and looking
it
for,
helps.
it's guessing and looking for a tell from the pitcher when his arm's coming
Right,
up.
but how fast you can pick up the ball right out of the hand, and anticipating. Like if you think there's a 97 mile an hour a 97 mile an hour heater coming four seam, but it ends up being a 86 mile an hour changeup, you're going to screw yourself right into the ground, right? I mean, you're not going to hit that ball.
No, you're going over.
Or if you think it's a big, slow curve, like an 89, 90 mile an hour curve, and it ends up being, a 99 mile an hour, fastball, mid chest, you're not gonna hit that ball.
Nope.
So I think baseball has become so specialized nowadays that I know when I had Evan Longoria on Lummy back in the day, he's like, listen, half of my hits come from me predicting or guessing what the pitcher is going to throw. Yeah. Looking for a specific pitch, and oh my God, here it is. I'm keyed up for it. I'm, timed for it, and I'm going to hit it, I think.
Yeah, and they got to do a lot of studying now, a lot of game tapes. They got to just see what the order.
I had Aubrey Huff in the studio one time, in the time that he got in trouble for calling Baltimore a horse shiz town.
Yeah,
he got fined $50,000 for that. But he said, Jeez. I go, Aubrey would be smoking cigarettes and drinking beer in the off season, and I go, Aubrey, what type of training do you have? And he goes, see ball, hit ball.
Yeah, he was old school.
What? He goes, see ball, hit ball. That's it. Have you seen, as we get older and the generation below us continues to get more and more refined with sports nutrition and weightlifting and just different tools to get better? When we were growing up, an offensive lineman, you would be considered a big offensive lineman, D1. You'd even be a pretty big, you're 6'6". You're probably 6'5".
Yeah, 6'5".
6'5".
A mountain of a man.
Yeah, but 6'5", what? Probably playing weight 290?
Yeah, 290, 295.
All right.
That was NFL size at one point.
Yes. Did you see the guard at 77 for the Eagles?
Yeah, he's a monster.
He's 6'8", 330, and he's a guard.
Jeez.
And he's a guard. But these teams,
the tackles tend to be a bit taller, right?
Tackles tend to be taller and have better footwork than guards. So a lot of times they'll take a tackle from college because, the NFL is so much faster, and that guy on the edge is just so much faster that they'll take a little bit of an undersized guy. They'll put the bigger dude at guard and put the guy that's got better feet. Am I right, Lummy?
Yes.
They'll put the guy who's got better feet at the tackle. He could be, an inch or two. I think the Philadelphia Eagles, the 77 guys 6'8", 330 right guard, but the left tackle's 6'5", 305.
It's you could also look at your legs and your arms, being fast with your legs, but also having long arms.
You got to have long arms. Yeah. I'd have to be a center.
Yeah, you'd have to be a guard or center.
So you're like an orangutan with big old giant arms.
They want long arms. And it's Dan, when you used to go to the combine, you would poke and prod and stuff, but you guys couldn't really be. Now they're getting so specific where they won't draft you because your arms are 2 inch.
No, Bubba. They did it back then. That was just like a horse auction. They would put that guy on the stage in a crowd
with just underwear.
Just underwear. And they would call out his measurements, and they would say how his arm strength, his wingspan is this, his height is this, and they'd go through all of his stats, and he'd sit there and he'd rotate like he was like a modeling show.
He was literally like buying a horse at the farm.
It was like the Meckham auto auction.
I hate to. I'm not trying to be any which way or loose because the NFL's full of all ethnicities, but it was literally like a slave.
Oh, absolutely. That's how they did it. That's exactly how they did it.
Yeah.
It's exactly how they did it.
Somebody said Tom Brady did not look very impressive. Wasn't he a fifth rounder?
Six? Seven?
No, not 7.
Six. Pick 199.
6, yeah. And I guess he looked a little bit doughy
They roll his picture out every year of the combine,
right?
And because he's a 22-year-old,
skinny guy,
quarterback. Where you don't have to be.
Didn't he only start his senior year?
He was back and forth his junior year because what's his name? Drew Henson.
Drew Henson, yeah.
So anyway, man, here is a little bit of the national championship celebration last night. Ohio State. It wasn't as close as it sounded. It ended up being 8. What was it, 38-29 or something like that?
By the way, only a very small amount of Ohio State fans deserve this. They all wanted to hang Ryan Day.
They did.
After the Michigan.
Oh, really?
After Michigan, they would rather beat Michigan than win the national championship. They wanted this guy fired before the playoffs even started, Dan. They wanted Ryan Day out of there. So shout out to the Ohio State fans that stood by Ryan Day, but I think 80% of them wanted this guy publicly murdered.
If I could like an add to your rant?
Yeah, sorry. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. But you're leaving a little part out that you said earlier this morning.
Okay.
Ohio State fans are stupid. He goes, let me tell you
Except
something.
my family.
Ohio State fans are so stupid that they would rather not win a national championship and beat Michigan during the season.
Yeah, that's it. All they talk about Ryan Day, 0-4 against Michigan, 0-4 against Michigan. Okay.
They were ready to lynch the guy.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you have to beat Michigan if you're going to be a coach. Okay, well, how about we skip that part and we win the national championship?
Yeah.
Way better.
And how about that loss propelled them to winning that national championship? Why did you take Michigan?
I forget one of the linebackers,
Jack Sawyer.
He said that he couldn't even go. Him and his boys, during one of their bye weeks or something like that, went out to like a Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that to go out and catch some games and just hang out and drink a few beers and have some wings. And he actually had to leave because he got recognized and started getting like trolled by, because when you go to Buffalo Wild Wings or something like, or Hooters, it's
all kinds of fans there.
It's 90% men that are watching some type of ball game.
Yes.
And so, you're going to get, so he got recognized and he actually had to leave because people were like, what a loser, man. You can't even beat Michigan. Like they were letting their
disgust come through.
Now what are they doing now, bitch?
Yeah.
Paying his tab.
Yeah.
Ohio State wins the national championship. Let's look at how it all.
Now, is there talk of the Notre Dame guy? So I think he made it public that he is happy at Notre Dame.
Oh, he loves it.
Because I think Chicago wanted to interview him.
They floated him out there. I think Chicago had their guy in mind, but this guy,
Chicago got their guy.
This guy's only 38. I mean, this
guy's going to the pros.
He's got his whole career ahead of him.
On a Monday night in Atlanta here in mid-January, Marcus.
Here's the thing, man. You can go to Notre Dame or you can go to Ohio State or you can go to Alabama or Clemson or any Power 5 huge program. And, and by all accounts, people in South Bend love this guy, the Freeman guy. And, you can have, like a Lou Holtz or a Nick Saban or a Dabo Sweeney or, you can have a 20-year career in college if you're one of the upper echelon guys. And those guys are making what, $10 million a year?
Yeah.
And there's no pressure on them. Because you got such a good program built. You've built such a great program.
Don't you think the pressure's on more so now, Bubba, because your program and your guys can come and go so easily?
Yeah, I think there's more pressure.
Yes.
But I think the city just absolutely loves you. You throw out a competitive team every year. You make the playoffs, most of the time. But, man, when you go to the NFL, look at all the great the Urban Meyers and the who else failed? Nick Saban. Nick Saban failed in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at all the great guys that went on and couldn't be an NFL coach just because you can't do the Johnny Rah-Rah stuff. And
Chip Kelly's the biggest one, but he's thriving.
Yeah, I mean,
Freeman at Notre Dame and Ryan Day at Ohio State. But
again, there's only one of them right now. Right? And out of all 32 teams, there's only one guy that's thriving in the NFL that came from the collegiate system. I think.
Well,
yeah, Harbaugh. I'm trying to think of anyone else right now.
That came right from college?
Yeah. Pete Carroll did.
Yes.
He's not coaching right now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, in today's world.
I mean, Cliff Kingsbury went from, wasn't he at Texas Tech to the head coach of Arizona?
And absolutely shiz the bed.
He's the OC right now for Washington, who's in the NFC title game.
Remember the one year? It might have been the COVID year when they had the draft and all the coaches were doing it from home with FaceTime and Zoom.
Yeah.
And they showed his house and it looked like just it was in somewhere out in the desert. With
it was all white
with an infinity pool, and it looked like something that would be in the movies. And now look at him.
Well, now he's being considered for head coaching jobs.
I know, but still, he was the guy. He was the sexy new shiny object when he was the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals.
It just seems like the NFL is not I don't know how they did it back in the day, but it doesn't seem like they tap into college too often for coaches.
No, not enough. Maybe not enough to have a high success rate. But in fact, one of the reasons why they don't do well is because they don't pick very many of them.
But the Bucks their offensive coordinator came from college last year, and he's being considered for the Jacksonville head coaching job. So
it seems though that pro coaching recruits from pro coaching. You know, guys will come up like as coordinators sometimes, but unless they've had like actual years of being like an assistant coach in the NFL.
Well, it helps. I mean, just like any job industry, it helps to have those connections too when you're in charge of building your own staff. I heard someone else make this point, but it was a great point. When you look at all the coaches that just got fired, all the one-and-done guys, look at the staff that they assembled. It's a bunch of first-year guys because they hired their buddies because they don't have any real connections with any real coaches with experience. So, like, some
Makes
guys
sense.
waited out to build those connections. That stuff definitely matters. And, yeah, NFL recruits NFL for sure.
But, boy, man, they've now shifted to all the coordinators, all the defensive and offensive coordinators, man, like the guy from Detroit.
Well, teams are starting to take a risk on what the next blueprint of the NFL coach is.
And that's what it is. It's the young coordinators that worked under a Dan Campbell. And, at one time he was a coordinator. That's kind of the tree now where you just take, that's where you're going to get a head coaching job. When you go into a Detroit under Dan Campbell and you turn the Lions around offensively, and then now you're the official head coach of the Chicago Bears.
Hell yeah, you are.
I think the Bears got the guy. They got the guy. I wouldn't have been mad if McCarthy had gotten it just because he's an NFC North guy. He knows how to develop quarterbacks. You got arguably, a top 5 skill set quarterback in Caleb Williams. He just needs the right system built around him. And
the right nail color. But
in the right
you think do you really think that the Dallas coach is a good guy?
Yeah, I think in the right system, he took Green. I mean, look what he did with Green Bay.
It'd be blasphemy for him to go coach the Bears.
Oh, I know, but that's half of what the Bears and the Packers do to each other.
Yeah.
They mind screw each other. Oh, yeah.
He was a good backup plan.
Don't think that, the Green Bay Packers were built upon one man, just like the Chicago Bears were built upon one man, George Papa Bear Halas. George Halas was the guy that put up the $500 that you had to pay for back in 1919 to become a charter member of the National Football League. And the team has stayed in his family ever since. Well, and the Packers and the Bears have the longest running rivalry in all of, probably not all of sports because baseballs was in the 1800s, but in football they do. And when Green Bay was done with Curly Lambeau, I think he stayed with the organization clear till like the mid 40s. Guess where he went? The Bears.
The Bears.
So that's what if the Bears can screw over the Packers, or the Packers can. When Jim McMahon got booted out of Chicago because he was no longer relevant, guess who was Brett Favre's backup for 2 years that people don't know about?
Jim McMahon.
Jim McMahon.
Well, the Lions got to be feeling a real kick in the the beanbag because you go out like that after having an incredible season. Now you're going to lose both your coordinators, and who knows what's going to happen.
And one of them's and now are both.
Yeah, they said Aaron Glenn's going to get a job with the Jets or the Saints.
Okay, that's fine. That's not near a kick in the nuts as going to a team in your league in your conference.
Aaron Glenn's in New York today, and Ian Rappaport reported really early this morning that the goal is to not let him leave without a head coaching job. So if it is not the Jets, then he's going to very quickly go interview with the Saints.
And whoever I got to go to words, and we'll run a little bit of best of the national championship game. Notre Dame got whipped. Although Notre Dame took the ball, Lummy, and scored first.
Oh, yeah, no, it was a long first quarter for them, too. It was a 10-minute drive.
But does the next head coach of the Jets even consider having the cancerous Aaron Rodgers around, or is he out of there?
I'm not going in there with the idea of having Aaron Rodgers as a 1 year.
He's a perirectal abscess. It's the last thing you want.
He's a what?
A pus around the butt.
Well, I kind of wanted you to do it, make it medical.
Okay, a perirectal abscess. It's like a boil right around your anus.
Oh,
it
now,
just talks
have you
to
ever
you.
seen
It
one
hurts.
of those?
Yeah, it hurts.
A boil on your anus.
Right around the
Do you,
right around
what do you
it.
do? Lance it and express it?
Yeah, but sometimes it communicates to the inside, dude. It's a disaster, and that's
Isn't that what
what he is.
Farrah Fawcett died of?
She had squamous of the anus.
Is Aaron Rodgers a squamous of the anus when it comes to our franchise?
Yeah, he's just a pimple on the ass.
I mean, what are you hearing about T. Higgins to the Packers in free agency? Are you hearing that?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean,
is that what we're hearing?
yes. I think he's waiting for what the Bengals might match or give him more.
Yeah, but and Joe Burrow's better than Love.
Yeah,
I think the Bengals are probably. Who's a better team?
if Burrows is healthy, I think the Bengals are a better team.
Oh, the Packers are the youngest team in the league by far.
That's true.
Really?
But Higgins
Packers
is just, he's a perfect number 2.
How mad would you be though if you were a big premier quarterback and you're stuck at like Cincinnati? They always suck.
Yeah, or the Browns.
Or the Browns.
Poor
Cleveland or
Jameis.
Cincinnati. Those poor
They
guys.
almost made the Super Bowl.
They went to the
2 years
Super Bowl
ago.
second year, yeah.
Their offensive line, even though they tried to address it, though, they're still not great. Former Buck Super Bowl champion offensive guard Alex Kappa is the starting guard for Cincinnati, and he ranked last in 3 of the big categories for offensive linemen. I think he was last in sacks allowed, pressures allowed, and something else. He had an awful year.
Let's go. We'll cover the national championship game quickly, and then we'll probably just to be fully transparent. Yesterday was the inauguration of the 47th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. A lot to talk about. A lot of pictures. A lot of
a lot of parties.
A lot of craziness. Hogan, of course, Hogan was there.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, Hogan. My Lord.
Slinging his beer, man.
Slinging his beer. Could somebody be like,
Well, he just needs a big red nose and some red floppy shoes, and he'd be complete.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Hey, what's going on? It is Seth, and we are definitely having fun or sleeping, so enjoy the best of Bubba.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Venmo, PayPal, Cash App at the Bubba Army as we're starting our new fiscal year. Well, actually, to qualify for BARP, you have to give the program $2,400 in a fiscal year. The fiscal year's September 15th to September 15th. 2,400. God, Lummy, I think somebody, who was it on Friday that dropped 15? Was that Big E?
Big man.
Big Man.
Big Man 028.
Big Man 028. I got to see Big Man 028 a little bit.
He's a good guy, too.
Listen, I think I did with regards to us. I'm in the middle of track prep, and we have our winter nationals going on at my track. Where Macho Man is currently working on a way that I can do the show, my portion of the zoom in from my trailer, from my RV, from my fifth wheel up there, so I don't have to. Like last night, Lummy, I left at 8. I left at 9. Got back here at. Well, in this vicinity where my apartment is at 10:30.
Yankee Jim, $10.
Just went right to bed. But usually I'm in bed way before that, so it's really screwing my schedule up. So we're working on me being able to go live from up there. This week isn't nearly as crucial as it will be for the Lucas weeks. Now with the Lucas week, he's also trying to build. Mach, do you and Rhett got everything for the cream machine? Cameras and
yes.
And let me. Do we have 4 of them? We're gonna steal 2 of those chairs from the from the stage. Do we have the other 2?
We need to find them, I believe, in storage if they were not returned.
Okay. And if they were returned, we got to find 2 more quickly.
Yes.
And then I think Macho Man, you have the soundproofing from Paper Towel Willie. Is that soundproofing going to work?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. And then once the soundproofing's done, I can have Merch Crit go in there and put the skirting in. But, you got probably... Is there a lot of equipment needed for to do that or not?
Not really.
Oh, okay, great. And will you be able to teach me how to do it? Or I guess you're going to be kind of standing by to maybe remote in.
Remote control will.
Okay, all right. So not only is my schedule messed up from from the next 3 weeks for the I don't know, I think it's like the 46th annual Winter Nationals, but obviously we're recuperating from BARP, and it's come to my attention that there's some Bubba Army royalty that are mad that I didn't get an opportunity to spend. So I didn't get a chance to see him, or I didn't see him on Saturday night, and I thought that I did a pretty good job of
not shunning people. You were available and friendly.
And here's the deal: if you didn't get a chance to see me or get a picture with me, and I listen, I humbly speak of all of this. I'm not trying to act like I'm all that. You could very well be a big supporter of the show and could care less about me, and all you wanted to do was a picture of Seth and Rhett. Or Lummy. Of course, everybody wants a picture of Lummy.
So photogenic.
I think Gary's the only guy that got a picture with me. It's fitting.
I heard your wife was your girlfriend's one hell of a handler. She denied most requests. So anyway, I guess there's been this little scuttlebutt is that Bubba only paid attention to the Diacos, and he only talked to a few different people. And man, I know I spent a ton of time with Highway 73, and I could go through the list and tell you right now everybody that I thought that I talked to. I spent a ton of time with obviously Jimmy Clevis and the Diacos, and then I got up and spent some time with my aunt and uncle. But I know that I spent time with Joe from the West Side.
You really just ate with us. You didn't really spend that much time the rest of the night. There's a good 20 minutes where we actually had your attention, but the rest of the night, I specifically wanted to leave you alone so you could mingle. And I thought you did.
Here's a great deal.
You were out there the whole time.
I only really just ate with you guys, and so I'm going to eat with somebody. Happened to be my table got all jammed up with the Diacos with the Jimmy Clevis kicker. And I think maybe Big Man 028 might have been. Somebody else was at our table. I don't know who it was.
We were Lady and Tramping Pizza, but it was cool.
But if you didn't get a chance to get a picture with me or to get a chance to talk to me for a little bit, then that's on you. Because all you needed to do, and I'm not being disrespectful.
You pictureless bitches.
I'm not. You just sit over there like a little moray eel, just ready to jump on me at all times. Listen, like you were over there. I'm hearing this voice. I'm on stage trying to do my thing, Lummy. I got Red in my ear. I got you in my ear. Make sure I don't forget anybody. And I got Seth over there. Already been on stage, been introduced. Now he's sneaked off stage and he's in the corner, leaning against the fence, doing editorial smart-ass comments.
They gave me a mic, and nobody else wanted it after I was done, so I just kept it, and then I turned it on when I felt the need.
Yeah.
I felt like you
you were a great kind of a counter programmer, smart-ass little zing. You were a great zinger guy.
For the people that didn't get a picture with you, Bubba, I just wanted to give them a show.
Exactly. But Lummy, so I'm not putting this on anybody, but all you had to do was to while I'm talking, I'm talking. I'm with somebody the entire time. I was never just by myself, not engaging with people. So all you have to do, in fact, Merch Crick did a great job. She'd come up and say, "Hey, listen, these people are leaving." Captain.
Yes, let's keep that to Merch Crick. Okay.
Like Captain.
Lummy said, "Don't make him your picture handler."
No, there's somebody that likes to make sure that they control who's getting picture times.
Okay,
let's just keep it with that. Let's keep Merch Crick.
You lost me.
Well, no, like even Red said, it's what it is. She knows. Drunk Kim, trying to get Rhett and Lasker, and then always trying to get people out of conversations to go find and meet you.
Yeah,
let's leave it to Merch Crick.
Drunk Kim, listen to me. You don't work for me.
Oh no.
Because I had people complain to me even last night about her interrupting.
She tries to be a wrangler.
Yeah, and pull people away.
She tries to be a wrangler, and Drunk Kim, let people... Here's the deal. If you want a picture with somebody that works here, whether it be, from Colton to Dan Diaco and everybody in between, then get a hold of somebody that works here. Let's say you saw Rhett, and you were getting ready to leave, and you wanted to get a picture with Dan. And Dan's running around like 100 miles an hour anyway. trying to find the next lava cake because he's got a sweet tooth.
One's left.
I mean, there's one. Yeah, I mean, Dan. If you wanted to find Dan, just go to the Domino's line because he was around there all night long.
I did like a fly.
He never really went past 30 feet past that food line.
No, it gave me anxiety if I got too far away from
So
it.
if you feel as if you want, by the way, that's what it's all about. Taking pictures.
What, the lava cakes?
And taking pictures and having interaction and talking and they usually have some type of thing that they like and they want to tell you part of the show and you engage and that's what we're here for. We're here to appreciate you, to recognize you, to talk to you, to for you to get a piece of us. That's what we're here for. And so, like, let's say you wanted to get Dan, but you didn't really feel comfortable because Dan's bouncing around 1,000,000 miles an hour. So you can get anybody that works for Colton, Tuttle, Merch Crick.
Nobody's better than Colton.
Oh, Colton is.
He's the best in the game.
He is not only the best in the game, but he just like every 15 or 20 minutes, he'd come up to me and goes, "Need anything? Diet Coke? What do you need?"
Well, he was,
and the only time, like, you know what, Colton, can I get a Diet Coke with ice? No problem.
Bub, I'm not trying to call. I don't want to call anybody out here or anything like that. But, well, I guess I am. Colton did tell us that Brian from Philly was the one that fell in the ditch outside.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, he even saw that. I mean, his eyes all over the place.
Is he okay?
I don't know. I didn't get that part. Lummy, is he okay?
I haven't heard from Brian.
He's pretty sturdy. He's from Philly, dude.
He's
fine.
Yeah,
He's from Philly. He's fine.
Yeah, he's.
I said if you got a wobbly guy, you got to lean him against the gate. Like, you can't just put a wobbly guy near
But
a
man,
ditch.
Brian-
He was on the couch for a while.
But I got to tell you, man, Brian from Philly must have got tore up because he's a sturdy man.
Yes.
He's not a paper tiger.
Lum said he saw Brian from Philly in here leaning, and he thought that he was just like joking around.
Yeah.
All right, so
No, he was Pisa. he was about to fall over.
So back to the nature at hand, and that is, man, we want to take a picture with you. That's what we owe you, and then some, and more, and engaging and talking. But if you don't have the opportunity to speak to me or Lummy or Seth, you didn't ask. You didn't ask, and all you have to do is tap us on the shoulder and say, "Hey, listen, I'm heading out here in a few minutes, and I wanted to get a few pictures."
I'll flick, bitch.
This is not sponsored by Warren Sapp. Like, I was with Bob and the Sunbelt guys, and 2 or 3 times Merch Crick came up to me. Now Merch Crick's a great wrangler, and she tapped me and she goes, "Hey babe, such and such. I think, like, for instance, I think Captain Creamsicle was leaving."
Oh, nice.
And Brad, and he was like, and so I got a couple pictures with him. And so if you didn't get a picture, it's not because anybody was trying to be rude or, we don't want to take pictures, or Bubba just talks to his rich friends. This is some of the feedback I'm getting back. Or Bubba leaves early. I'll tell you one thing. I was one of the last people here Saturday night.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I was here longer than you.
No, I was
I'm
one of
sorry.
the last ones.
Well,
Me
would
and
you
Rhett- actually, me and Rhett
would
were-
you admit, though, that this has been
The
stayed
longest, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
by far.
Yeah, you 100% were last 20 people.
And I think that I did the best on stage this year, although I was late.
No, I think second best. But you were definitely the best is about being available, being social, being present, not disappearing for 20, 30 minutes. You were there to be, to give yourself to your fans the entire time.
The only thing I did wrong is I should have Sethied out a little bit and spent some quality time with Seth in the studio, because Seth found the studio very comfortable. I heard that this studio had its own vibe. It was a pretty good vibe. It had a ball game on. It had some 80s music playing. It had a good bartender. You could step right up. There was no wait for a drink. Like, let me, the couple of the outside bartenders, they had, you'd have to wait 2 or 3, 4 minutes sometimes because there was a line to get drinks. So you step right up, get your drink. So I got to make sure, Lummy, that I split my time next year between. But it was just so nice out. It was so, my Lord,
Perfect
it
weather.
was so almost borderline hot. So,
Do you think you need to institute the picture times like you had last year?
Nope, did not do that, because I figured if if I don't want to make a guy stand in front of a step and repeat for 15 minutes. It's awkward. Whereas if you want a picture, just find us.
Or, Bubba, I think I was thinking about what I said yesterday. We could incorporate a sort of a red carpet with a picture on the way in at the beginning when everyone's like, peppy and their eyes aren't red and everyone's, looking their best.
People did like that idea.
I like that
stepping
idea
seat up
where let's see logistically, you check in with the merch crick. And then you make a right, and we got a red carpet with a step and repeat set up right there, right there.
The backdrop being the fence with something behind it, on it.
Yeah,
nice Bubba Army. Whatever.
And if we had a chance to rig it all up, we can make it look nice. And then you get your picture with your significant other. You get a picture now. I don't know if we're close by or not, and we get a picture with them then, or they just get their individual. You know what I'm saying? Like we hire.
We could talk about it. But I think some evolution of that would be great because it ensures everyone gets a picture of some sort to document the night,
right?
And make them feel special.
I think we have
walk the red carpet.
I think we have a professional photographer.
Yeah.
And after they get done, we have a handle like Colton that writes down their email address, and we'll be like, we'll email you these pictures.
And if you want it framed, it's only $380.
No,
and we can start doing.
If you want them framed and signed,
it's $800. Hell yeah!
$499, you get a free pair of tennis shoes.
Right. Woo. We should do something.
By the way,
I'm telling you, it'll work.
By the way, Lummy, I think the Bubba Army Alpha Volume 25 is only about a month away.
Nice.
That's exciting.
Right. So
Brian from Philly said he's fine, by the way.
Okay.
Good.
He's a rugged man.
Yeah, he's from Philly.
So anyway, I got a call from Lasker yesterday, and so did Dan. And here's how my call went. I don't know how your call went. Let me tell you something. Do I need to listen to the show from today? What? I'm driving to Ocala. No, I don't know why. I heard that you were talking some smack about me. And you called my wife and my wife was mean.
Oh no!
And I go, Gene. I said, Gene. You know what I said about your wife? What? That she was absolutely smoking hot, and that she was cool, and God bless her for being such a good wife for you. You said that? Yeah. Well, then I'll just have her listen to that. And I go, I did say that you were in a bad mood and you were acting a little bit mean. He goes, let me tell you something. I helped those two black guys up on stage and nobody gave me no credit for it. And I'm like, okay, Gene. And then me and the other black guy with the gold teeth, him and I were cutting it up. Him and I were having fun. Now the motorcycle cop, him and I, got a little sideways. But at the end of the night, we were cool too. I go, okay, Gene, well, I didn't know any of that. Somebody said that maybe you and Rio had some words, but I didn't know. But nobody spoke bad about you at all. And specifically, I remember saying, when you first got off your motorcycle and you did that little vignette, I remember saying, God, look at Lasker's wife, how hot she is. I said, that's the only thing that was said about your wife. And I said, secondly, Gene, I would never let anybody besmirch anybody's wives. I would never let anybody say anything bad about Phoebe or anything about Ashley or, well, Ramina maybe. But I'm just saying. I mean, I wouldn't let anybody say anything about Candle or Krista or Rhett, what's your girlfriend's name?
Taylor.
I would never let anybody say, no, that's... You can be a big fan of the show, and I invite you to try to find me audio of me allowing, either me saying it, allowing somebody on the show or a caller to besmirch anybody's significant others.
What happened as far as getting the quote-unquote black guys on stage and no one said anything?
And he goes, let me tell you something. Everybody thinks that, I don't like black people and stuff. I helped both of those black guys up, and neither one of them said thank you.
He was mad about that.
He was.
Yeah, because when he talked to me, he had similar concerns.
He's like, yeah, I remember, and nobody even say thank you, and everybody knows I am about blacks. I'm like, look, Gene, chill out.
So like he helped him, like he gave him his arm and helped him up on stage or something.
Right, and nobody thanked him for it.
Oh well, all right. I'll talk to the guys about that.
Well, he also,
I don't think you have to.
Okay, I won't.
Also with me, I mean, he was, literally, I'm getting oral surgery and Lasker calls.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, the worst time to call a man when he's got a mouthful of speculum.
Yeah, my mouth is being dilated.
What's that called, Dan? That thing you put in your mouth?
A speculum.
Yeah, speculum. Hello, Dan. How you doing?
That lip spreader. The
Right.
lady's stretching. The guy.
So
Got the camera.
what did he say to you?
Well,
Let me tell you something.
he said, well, he said I was gonna have a problem. He's gonna have a problem with me. He's gonna shut me up. I'm like, well, dude. I didn't hear him say that. Someone in chat said they thought they heard him say that. Oh, they thought I heard him say that. I'm like, well, dude, listen.
Gene's getting chat cancer.
He's getting
from
chat
some
cancer.
troll that is, however they're getting the message to Gene.
I think some people just cannot wait to spread misinformation around to people who don't listen to the show.
Yeah,
My
well, he
God.
was pissed when he called.
Yeah, so I calmed him down and I said, Gene, you know what?
He talked to you first or in a second.
I said, if you got any, just listen to the show, because you were never put in a bad light. Nobody ever called your wife mean. In fact, I went out of my way to talk about how much I care for your wife and how beautiful she is, and saying, okay.
The only thing I saw that was bad was Rhea was peeing on his motorcycle, but other than that, there was no problem.
That's really not funny, Gene.
Yeah,
I mean, Dan, that's not funny.
Punched?
That's not funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where's my zookeeper gimmick? I don't even have it.
That was
a zookeeper.
way beyond zookeeper.
No, it wasn't. You don't tell. Let's just roll this back a little bit.
That's obvious parody.
You don't ever kid with an outlaw that a black man's peeing on his motorcycle. I mean, just think about it. There's a lot of moving parts in that statement, and you just don't. That's just not where you go. No big deal.
Understood.
Ohio State wins the national championship. Let's look at how it all unfolded on a Monday night in Atlanta here in mid-January. Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame and Ryan Day at Ohio State. Breaking it down.
Notre Dame scored first, Lummy.
Yeah, they did. 9-minute drive.
4th and 1.
Yeah,
Notre Dame
9-10
comes
drive.
out of the gate and a remarkable drive where Riley Leonard, time and time again on 4th down, moved the pile himself, lands on the football, but still got enough gas in the tank to take it to the paint. 18 plays, the longest drive in a BCS college football championship game. Notre Dame up 7-0.
So you're thinking, man, Lummy, they just drove, a zillion yards, and their offense is dominating. It's going to be a long night for Ohio State.
Yeah.
But Ohio State's got so many weapons,
And
they usually win the line of scrimmage. I can't see how they got beat.
Landed on the ball.
So it was 7.
It hurts.
Wasn't it 7-7 going into the second?
It was 7-0 in the first, and then Ohio State scored pretty quick in the second. So
Maybe you puke. It's fine.
So at the end of one, it was
7-0.
Oh yeah. So here we are, start of the second quarter, and Ohio State's driving. Looks like they're about on the 7-yard line to Notre Dame.
You keep it going. And Ohio State didn't blink. That drive ate up more than 2/3 of the first quarter. So Ohio State gets their hands on the football, and what a play design. Chip Kelly in his bag tonight. There's Jeremiah Smith, the incredible freshman.
Broken coverage.
They said this guy's going to be a number 1 pick in the draft when he's ready to come out of college.
The running back?
The wide receiver, yeah.
You can see Christian
This
Gray.
kid right here?
Yeah.
He's trying to alert
Geno
the
Smith's
Notre Dame
cousin.
defense of what's coming, and there's no.
So 7-7. Did Notre Dame punt or
they
whatever?
got stopped. Yeah.
Now Ohio State's back on the 10.
Yep.
Buddy in a blue uniform to slow him down.
Missed tackle.
After Notre Dame gave the ball right back, Quinshot Judkins into the end
He's in.
zone, and 2 consecutive drives result in 2 consecutive touchdowns for Ohio State. 2 minutes to play in the second. Notre Dame has been great in the middle 8, as they call it, and Ohio State flipped the script on him in this case.
Man, how does 29 let that guy get by him?
That's a great question.
As here, Will
And
Howard.
Ohio State gets
Did
the
he think
ball in the third
did
quarter
he
too.
think he had safety help?
Yeah, I think
Did he
that was
think
the
he had
coverage.
I hate zone.
Yeah, because
I-
you could tell he was just playing his little zone.
Yeah,
area.
he was playing his box.
Tate 12 for 12 to start the game, the most consecutive completions to start a national championship game all time. Can they cash it in with 7? They
is a good
can.
play.
How?
Oh, what a great play.
Yeah.
You get everybody sucked into the right like you're running.
Right before the half.
Yeah, and then boom, right before the half, you run into the locker room, 21-0. You get the ball in the third. I don't need to go through the rest of it.
By the way, here's a tweet from November 30th from an Ohio State fan. Don't let anyone talk to you into keeping Ryan Day, quote unquote. They could still win the playoffs. He's won a lot of games. Stop it. Fire him immediately.
Wow.
For real. That's as late as November.
I can't take it anymore. I'm a broken man. I'm dead inside. I hate sports. Fire Ryan Day. This is the worst moment of my life. You can't lose to Michigan 4 times in a row. Fire Ryan Day. That's just me getting started on Twitter.
Now, is Ryan Day up for any, or is the NFL scratching at him at all?
No, but he's got to be up for the biggest beanbag. I mean, to have what happened to him at Michigan and then to come back and win the national championship like that.
And dominate Indiana. Everybody thought Indiana was all that. They smoked them. I think they've smoked everybody, haven't they?
I don't think Ohio State played Indiana. I think Notre Dame beat them.
I'm sorry, you're right. And yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
How pissed off?
No, hold on. Ohio State did play Indiana in the regular season.
Yeah,
it smoked them.
Yeah, how pissed off would they be when they lose to Michigan again this year?
You know what though? Here's the thing. I think this year potentially may have set, and Seth, you can agree, Rhett, whatever, that losing to Michigan doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the world. So, I mean, like, they lost to Michigan, everybody flipped out because back in the Bo Schembechler days and all, all those days, like losing to Michigan could have determined, because there was not a college playoffs, it was a ranking system. So if you lose, and by the way, they always play Michigan late in the year. So if you lose to, usually back in the day prior to a college playoff system, losing to Michigan means you're done.
Bucks got swept by the Saints in both years they won the Super Bowl, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, in the history books, it doesn't matter. The ultimate prize is what you play for, and if that's what you get, then
right. And
I think everybody's going to be happy with it.
And now that we have a playoff system, losing to Michigan late in the season doesn't necessarily, one, take you out of the conference championship, and two, doesn't mean you can't run the table and win the national championship. Now that it's not just an AP and UPI and coaches polls. Remember, that's how it used to be.
Yep.
There was never a playoff system. It was, they went through all the bowl games and figured out who was the national champion. I mean,
and 1 or 2 losses, it was catastrophic.
Right.
Now there's
especially
forgiveness.
late in the season.
Yeah.
Now, if you lose one, like remember, like Alabama or Clemson would lose one like
early on,
week 3, something like that, and then they would run the table. They'd win the national championship. Now we have a bona fide playoff system. Do you? Before I go to words, because we are late, do you think that they expand the national championship from 12? I think they keep it at 12. I think it worked out so well this year.
I think they keep it at 12, and they change how they seed the teams.
Yeah.
I don't think that's just conference champions get first week buys and they get the top 4 slots.
Especially when your national championship game was 7 versus 8, right?
Yeah.
Just go to show you that your seeding system didn't work.
Well,
because
I mean,
1 through 4 didn't make it.
I mean, who was
7
1 and 2? Oregon and who? What, Texas or something?
Oregon. You had Arizona State in there. You had.
I think it's. I mean, it's gonna not the 1 and 2 teams aren't gonna make it every single year. I just feel like they want to look at how they develop the buys and about reseeding after each team wins. Kind of in the NFL, they do that too, where the lowest seed will play the highest seed. I think they're gonna look to do something like that also.
Yeah, but they love that the 7-8 seed or whatever.
I mean,
is in there because
it
it
goes to
proves
show
that what they're doing is right.
Right, you're
Correct.
right. You're
The
right.
two best teams would have been excluded last year.
You're right.
if they just went off of conference championships.
Right.
All right, so we got to get into the inauguration of the 47th president. There's just so much, from Elon Musk looking like he's tripping on mushrooms to Melania Trump wearing looks like she was literally a Russian spy outfit, to just there's just so much.
Brett said she looked like Inspector Gadget.
She did. And you know what?
Carmen Sandiego.
By the way, her suit, the pantsuit that she wore was beautiful. It was just that hat. And the hat would have been okay had she not worn it like she was Sergeant Slaughter. Like she had it down like she was a state trooper. You know how the state troopers
Get ready
wear.
to write you a ticket.
Well, when the state troopers wear it so you can't even see their eyes.
Oh, and you get pulled over by that guy with the hat.
Yeah.
And
You're
the
not
strap
getting
for
off
his hat,
scot-free.
and the
Yeah.
strap for his hat just goes down to his lower lip.
Yeah.
Doesn't even go all the way down to his chin.
And I mean, like,
You know
she
you're screwed.
was wearing it like a state trooper. Now, had she just kicked it up a notch, where Donald could have swooped in and got that inaugural kiss instead of getting brimmed, it might have worked better. Hogan was there. He was in,
ruined
again.
his suit.
I think Dan said he's only a big nose and floppy shoes away from being like. Terry, can you ever get out of character? Or when you talk to Trump, is Trump like, I just want to tell you something. I got all these really important guys that don't, but I like when you get into your character, get into your Hulkamania deal. It kind of makes me laugh a little bit.
Do you want? Maybe he says stay in character. He may say that to him. It may amuse him.
I'm just saying.
I never thought about that.
We don't know the conversations or the direction that Hogan has been in character every time with regards to Trump-related events that I almost feel like, and Trump's a control freak.
Right.
Absolutely control freak. So, like, if he wanted Terry to be more like, let me tell you something, he's a good guy, but maybe he wants the tear off, maybe he wants to say your prayer, eat your vitamins, Hulkamania, real American beer, over the top, rip your shirt. Let me tell you something, brother.
Trump doesn't care what this bozo's doing.
Yeah, no. Every king has a jester, and so Hogan's become the jester of the court. Of the
party,
of the whole party. He is.
Think about it. Think about this,
Joker.
Man. He appeared. Now this is being a friend of the party. You appeared on Thursday night of the RNC. You appeared at Mar-a-Lago during one of the several, I think election night. You've appeared I don't know how many times on Fox, which is basically propaganda for Trump. I mean, right? I mean, out of all the networks, let's just be intellectually honest. Out of all the networks, the network that's going to be cover Trump over the top and even more than fair is Fox.
Yes.
And Hogan's almost like a part-time contributor for that.
He's a fixture there.
And then, yesterday's inauguration, he's there too. He checks all the boxes of being a go-to guy for the party.
Yeah, I sent you a picture.
All right.
Him on the red carpet.
We'll get to that. We'll start breaking some of the Trump stuff down next. Hold on.
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Hey, this is Tuttle, and you're probably listening to a story about when I was in the funny farm on the best of the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Close out sports real fast. I know we've been a little bit sports-oriented. People get pissed about that. But, hey, listen, we're men. And most of you are men.
Best part is
and
that
men talk about sports, especially when
there's national championships.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what? F off if you don't like what we're talking about.
The best part about BARP was everyone at BARP wanted to talk about sports.
Or watch the game.
Yeah,
that's kind of the thing. And I know it's not everybody's like hardcore in it, but everybody that because I was in here the whole time. Everybody that walked in here looked up. They would look at the score, the Washington game, and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening."
I know that's the same reaction because we didn't have sound. And we all we had, and they're like, "What? The Washington's smashing them that bad? Like for real?" So anyway, 2029. My question is, Dan, will when events like this happen? By the way, Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium to host the college football title game, which was just last night at Mercedes-Benz, which was at Atlanta.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they hosted it last night in Atlanta. And they've announced that the 2029 game, which is 4 years from now, which really isn't that long.
We're taking it from Dallas.
Why do they?
Dallas has a scheduling conflict, so they can't do it now.
Well, they have Disney on Ice. What's bigger than the national championship?
That's
Disney
what I'm trying
on
to
Ice. What they got, a Von Erich reunion? Like, I mean, what
is that a Jake Paul fight? Like, what
no, it's Taylor Swift touring.
I mean, that makes sense.
There would only be a couple things that you could say, oh, that makes sense. And probably right now off the top of my head, only a Taylor Swift concert.
Or Cowboys playoff game, which they couldn't predict this far in advance, but...
Right. Because the Buccaneers would have the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they normally play these on a Monday, so I guess that would never happen. But to not use that stadium, I would be to either have a Taylor Swift show or some sort of Cowboys event,
something. But the Buccaneer Raymond James Stadium to host a college football playoff title game in 2029. Now, Dan, when big events outside the Buccaneers happen, I think all suite owners have the first right of refusal.
Sure do.
So they'll be like, they get your suite liaison gets a hold of you and said, "Hey, are you guys in for this?" And you're either in or out.
Correct.
And if you're out, then they will sell it to somebody else.
Right, they'll sublet it.
Right, but otherwise, it's yours. So just think. I mean, you have what was that? Come with 20 tickets.
It's like 16. Yeah, 20. I think it's 20 seats total.
Yeah,
you get 20.
I think it's 16
plus 4 clubs.
Right.
Walk-ups.
Right. So I think, it's
somewhere
like,
between 16 and 20. Depends on the event.
I was always told by Steve, who seems to know more than you when it comes to this particular deal. Isn't he kind of the...
No, he's the box ambassador.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't deal with it.
And he even Rob Elder, co-owner of the box, Steve will even manage his side of the deal.
Oh, yeah, he manages the whole thing.
He does.
Rob just holds his hand out, gets his tickets, and then moves on.
Rob calls Steve up and tells him how many he needs and then how many chicks that he wants to put in there.
Right.
So anyway,
with the order for food.
The Buccaneers 2029 college playoff game. Boy, that's cool.
Yes. Yeah, that is cool.
Now, Dan, do you guys?
But I mean, it's not like a Super Bowl where tickets are going to go for $5,000-$10,000.
Really? Hold on, I just got
Where
rid
did
of
tickets go for this last night?
Last night at kickoff, tickets were still $4,000.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And if you guys were smart...
I actually sent Bubba a chart of how much the ticket prices were.
I clicked out of it just because we were too sportsy, but I wish I had it now. But, Dan, you guys... I don't know if this is legal or not, but, you guys could sell that box. Now that... See, here's the deal. Daddy Joe was so against that.
Mm-hmm.
He had we're either in or out. We're not going to get the box as an investment. We're not doing that. But Daddy Joe, God bless him, R.I.P., he's gone. And so we can order that extra bottle Absolute he didn't know about nowadays, and you could flip your box.
We could have made so much money at the Super Bowl and we didn't. And he'd always had that mantra, but since then we've paid so much that I really don't really express that same opinion at this point. And so we will probably buy the box and then maybe flip it.
Right.
We're not doing it for concerts and things like that. It's just, but something like that. The other thing is, buy the box, keep 6 tickets, and then sell the other, 10 or 12 tickets.
Yeah, but then you got 12 Yahoos that you don't
cares,
like.
Though. I mean,
but here's the deal.
They're paying $10,000 a ticket.
Yeah, they're not going to be Yahoos.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like Taylor Swift, I know you guys kept the box, but you know how much you could have sold that thing for?
Right. I totally get it. It was a mistake.
But the Bucs were at the Super Bowl when you went, right, Dan?
Yes.
So that's
you wanted to be there.
Well, yeah, no, of course.
And my tickets were better than the box. I mean, my tickets were low and close to the 50-yard line. I mean, I enjoyed being, on the field because there was in the stands because again, they had that social distancing. So there was only 20,000 people on me in the stands.
Oh, so for the Super Bowl, you didn't keep the box?
No, I was on the stands, and all I had was a cardboard military officer next to me.
Talk about overreaction.
You thought that was the epitome of the farcity of this whole concept of
and that
a
was
pandemic.
That was a year into COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The Super Bowl was a year into COVID.
Do we still have that cutout?
Oh no,
I don't know.
I think
but it's just like, oh my God.
That guy, the cutout that we got, he jogs up and down Bayshore every day surrounded by 4 security guards.
Oh, does
really?
It really?
The same guy we had?
He'll go on a walk down Bayshore and he's, high value.
That
so
means
he's
he
always
probably goes by your house, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Bears finalizing deal to hire Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions right now, and it looks like I think this deal will get done today.
That's what you were saying is the best thing for the Bears is this guy?
Yeah, by far.
So is Detroit completely hosed because they couldn't get out of the playoffs?
Here's the thing, man. A lot of these teams, like Washington and, the Rams and the Lions and any team that makes it far down the playoffs and comes from like a Dan Quinn, newer coach type situation, newer mentality, these guys get picked. And then I think
it happens.
Then I think at the end of the day, man, I think it really jeopardizes the team they got picked for. I mean, the Lions are probably not going to be as good.
I don't think it jeopardizes them. They still have a really good head coach, and they still are going to have a couple of guys on that coaching staff. Teams can nail a coordinator higher, but I definitely don't think they're going to be the 1 seed next year.
But what I'm saying is, do they? Will they?
It's not like they're all of a sudden going to struggle to win 7 or 8 games.
But will they
I don't think.
Will they continue to use Ben Johnson's offensive philosophy and his play?
No, it just depends on whatever coordinator they bring in. Whatever guy they decide to hire is going to bring his staff and his way of doing things.
Man, I would say, like, listen, if I was Bubba Campbell, I'd be like, listen, new guy, just get a hold of Dan's. I mean, get a hold of our playbook. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, but look at the Bucs offense coordinator, the guy that went to the Panthers, and then the new guy that just came in. I actually liked his offense a lot better than last year's.
Yeah, the new offensive coordinator the Bucs had this year was a much bigger improvement than Dave Canales. But if he gets hired away by Jacksonville, for the Bucs, it's really hard to win games if you hire a new offensive coordinator every single season. So I hope they don't let Liam Cohen go. He means a lot to that team. But if he does end up getting let go and Todd Bowles is back, I still think the Bucs are like an 8, 9, 10 win team, even with Bowles as head coach.
I think as long as you got Baker in there and a decent defense and Bucky, I think the two breakout guys.
I think they need
Bucky, Baker, and Evans.
That team probably could have won 11
and worst.
That team probably could have won 11 or 12 games this year, in all seriousness, if they just had like an elite edge rusher. If they had someone who could help them make a play and get off of the field on third down. Their defense was piss poor this season. But if they had, an edge rusher, if they had some pass rush help, I think it would change things tremendously because they were also very hurt for a lot of the year, too.
I also think they would have had another 2 or 3 wins if they were just better managed and coached when it comes to some of the technical and time management things.
Sure. I mean, Todd Bowles is
disastrous rookie-type mistakes of the coach.
After 3 full seasons, we're going to see that some of that stuff, the clock management, like Todd Bowles is who he is. It's not going to go away. But a lot of it, too, is just execution on the players. You play with who you have. The Bucs injury list on defense all year was a mile long. But guys got to play better. The Bucs defense was one of the worst tackling units in the NFL last year. They would constantly turn a 3-yard gain into a 12-yard gain. And winning football teams don't do that. So
does Godwin leave in free agency?
No, I think the injury helps the Bucs keep him. It keeps his number a little bit lower than it would have been because he was off to an incredible pace.
So listen to this, man. This woman in Brazil, she works at this market or something like that, like food market, but they sell, some hardware stuff and stuff like that. And her boss is a dick to her.
It's sort of like a Walmart kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like a small Walmart where they got a little everything.
Yeah.
And so she complains to her husband that her boss is being mean to her. Now there's no like sexual allegations or anything like that. I think the boss is just a dick. So I'm gonna make sure that all shovels are removed from the studios here because I can see Seth Kushner doing this to me.
Oh boy,
easily. When Kushner finally takes me down, it's not going to be anything like where he squares up on me and we fight. He's going to get me like I'm going to come walking around the corner and then I'm going to eat a shovel right in the face. Oof. That's how he's going to get me.
Wow. Thanks for writing it for me.
That or like one of these, like I'll be out in the parking lot, he'll just put it in reverse and just, run right over me. And then run right over me again when he pulls out.
I'm more of a put poison in your food kind of guy.
Are you?
Yeah.
So this guy's wife works at this place. And here's the guy right here. This is her husband. And so she tells her husband, my boss is a real dick. He's mean to me, for whatever reason, whether it's I've asked for time off or, he's made me do stupid jobs or I've not got a promotion or whatever. For whatever reason, I don't like my boss. So this is her husband. He goes to the store.
This is in America?
No, this is Brazil. This is Brazil. And you're going to see it right here. You can see it right here. He's right here.
Got it on his shoulder?
Yeah, this happened on the 18th. Lummy, this is like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Now, here we go. This is the boss. This is the boss.
Oh, man.
This is the boss of this guy's wife.
They did in flip-flops, too. Impressive.
Yeah, here we go. It's bad.
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh, no!
Yeah. Can you...
You ever wanted to do that to someone, though?
I mean, that's almost like Bugs Bunny Roadrunner stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, my God. Bam!
Pretty good swing.
Yeah,
he nailed him.
I thought he was going to chop his head off, but that didn't happen.
Ooh.
Boom. Comes up lumberjack style. Gets a nice little thing.
Knocked that phone right out of his hand.
Man, he spun the shovel and then gripped it, and wow.
Acrobat.
And the guy is pretty Oh, here comes some people tackling the guy.
Wow, they don't hesitate to
No,
bring
they
him
don't.
down.
No, they don't. They bring him down.
The guy gets back up. He's okay.
The dude's
He got the flat part of the shovel.
now look at the guy. He's putting him in. He's everybody from Brazil knows at least a rear naked choke.
MMA guys.
I think like when you're in kindergarten and first grade in PE,
They teach you how to roll?
They teach you a little bit how to roll because they go right for in Brazil they go right for some jujitsu, you know, and so yeah, is that not brutal?
Yeah, that is.
Man, Dan. That could kill you, couldn't it?
It could kill you. Yes, absolutely. Any strike to the head could kill you.
So
especially with a metal object.
As we continue on, we'll start scratching into the inauguration of the 47th president of our United States, who happened to be 45 as well.
Do you think his wife knew he was going to do that?
What?
Hit her manager with a shovel?
No,
I don't know.
I don't think he knew he was going to do it until the very last second.
I don't know.
He went and found a shovel.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, she obviously didn't have a job there anymore.
Oh, you mean she gets fired because of that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think the guy worked there. I mean, she worked there. So Hogan was at the inauguration last night, and this is with him. Boy, that's a hell of a pick to get the president holding your new beer. I mean, that's a hell of a. That shows you how much access Hogan has to the president, because the president is so highly guarded and has people all around him that you aren't going to get a picture with him holding your product unless he's genuinely your friend. You're just not going to do that. He's going to have thinkers about, is this good for the brand? Is this going to backfire on us? You know, he has...
Dude, he's selling a Trump coin, and then there's a Melania coin.
I understand.
He doesn't care.
Well, I'm just saying, as much as he's handled, that just shows you how Hogan can roll right up on him and get a picture with his beer. I mean, Hogan is in. So Hogan appeared last night. This is one of the pictures. Here's various coverage from the inauguration. I just want to look. And is this Elon and he speaks?
Yes.
I just want to look.
Elon speaks to Trump supporters at DC Arena.
Look at that salute that he gave again. Just if anybody missed it, we'll just show it again. He's just wrapped up here. You can hear the.
Now they're saying that this was like a Hitler kind of deal.
Well, he's such an R.
Yeah, he's just awkward. He was saying, "I give my heart to you."
It's not a Hitler. It's not a Hitler deal.
He's Jewish, guys.
He's Jewish.
He comes from a Jewish family,
and he's not doing a Hitler deal, a high Hitler deal. But he's so awkward and beyond the spectrum that he's like, I don't even know that he thinks the same way we do.
No, he definitely doesn't. He definitely doesn't.
We'll just show it again. He's just wrapped up here. You can hear the.
He's like, I give my heart to you.
All right, so we just showed that.
He did it like twice.
Showed that.
Turned around, did it again.
I thought it was AI yesterday.
So did I.
It was quick. I think our viewers are smart, and they can take a look at that.
Now this is CNN now. Now Fox probably reported it as,
I give my heart to you.
I give.
Oh no, they played the clip, and then Eli went on and said, "Why won't CNN actually play some of the sound bites from it?" They just muted it and said, "You guys can make the decision. You're smart."
So CNN breaks it down, and
just at the end,
at the very, very end, and makes it a standalone deal as if it was a bigger thing than it really was.
These are the same guys that spent 2 days talking about Trump moving the Martin Luther King bust on the first day of his presidency 8 years ago.
Okay,
these
but at
guys
the same time,
are notorious.
Are we just going to sit here and act like this is an action that people do every day on TV all the time? Come on, dude.
No, I don't think that we.
It doesn't quite pass the eye test.
It doesn't. But I mean, that's all CNN had all day to run with.
Oh, yeah, and that's what they're going to say. But it's just it's such a stupid thing to do on his part.
Very awkward. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So I can see where CNN, because they have nothing. They have nothing. And the best thing for CNN is for Trump to have won. Now they can sink their teeth and analyze everything he does. And there actually might be some people that watch it. CNN didn't do well when Clinton was in and Barack's in, because when their candidate that they support, they're a left-leaning news source, obviously. It's just, all you really don't have. People like adversarial news.
Dude, if Herschel Walker did an okay sign, they'd say it was white power.
Okay.
These
But
ass
it certainly
clowns.
it's not something that you typically see at American political rallies.
and she's right.
That way.
No, it was not something that you usually would see. And it was quick, as you point out. It was very quick, but it was in a moment of intensity for him as he came out dancing, and then he did that. He is a hero here.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
I just want to look at that salute that he gave again. Just if anybody missed it, we'll just show it again.
Here's the thing. I think they actually covered it fairly. I mean, I think they covered it pretty fairly. It was a minute long. They didn't go on and on. They're like, it's not, we don't know necessarily what it means, but it's kind of awkward.
Except he says, my heart goes out to you. He didn't say, ha, Hitler.
I understand that, and they put that in there. So for you to make your own determination as to what that meant, I think CNN did. I don't blame CNN for, listen, when I saw it, I was like, what is he doing? And I support Elon. And so for CNN to break it down by saying, this is awkward, this isn't standard, let's play it for in case you missed it. And then they included the clip that said, my heart goes out to you. So now at that point, you can form your own opinion.
There's a word to describe him, but it's banned also.
Yeah, if you watch the speech,
and that's what I don't understand.
Weird,
you guys, hold on. You guys told me about this word this morning, and I never... Yeah, before you got here. There's this word that's now officially you can't use.
Someone text it to me, please.
I'll just say it one time. You can. Spastic.
We've covered it on the air before.
I don't understand.
You remember Lizzo had to change the word to her song, and then Beyonce had to change the word to her song.
I'm spastic, and I'm calling myself that. I'm erratic and probably spastic at times. So, I mean, if you call yourself that, I think that you're okay.
Well, then a spaz is that's
the slur.
No,
right.
hold on. I'm letting you know.
The Gulf of America told me. I don't know.
The last 4 years of wokeness created this because, man, it was nothing for somebody to say, man, quit being a spaz. And it'll be like the guy's just kind of erratic. The person's just kind of erratic and all over the place.
Oh, but it's been going on for a while. All the way back to when I worked for 97X, there was a song that got put out by NERD called Spaz, and they sent us 2 versions, and one was where Spaz was edited out.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
I've said it too much today.
So let me ask you a question. Why is it banned? Because they're saying that it means what, which is now
weird or awkward.
What?
No, it's a slur against people with cerebral palsy. That's the target.
I have never used that word
to describe
a person with cerebral palsy.
As well, you should not.
I have used that word to describe a person that's high energy, all over the place. Being erratic,
off the chain.
It says,
but not in a bad way.
Incompetent or uncoordinated.
Yeah,
that's
I don't
slur.
think anything about spaz implies incompetent. Uncoordinated, I agree with. But incompetent, that's weird.
It's like, where does it stop? You know what? I'll tell you. There's only before too long. There's only going to be 3 words that you can say: fat, white, stupid.
Right, just the things to describe us.
Short.
Right.
Fat, white, short, and stupid. Now, somebody could call that to me right now, and that shoe may fit, but there's no slurs in white, fat, short, or stupid. Now, stupid could be a slur when referring to anybody other than a white male. So basically,
right? You can't. Right? Exactly. You can't say that. You can't say that.
Right? I couldn't call an African American woman stupid.
Nope.
I couldn't call probably an African American woman fat. I could maybe call her short.
But you can't call an Asian guy short.
But if somebody said, "Hey man, Bubba the Love Sponge, fat, stupid, white, and short," you could.
Fair game.
You know what? Nobody would think another thing about it.
Nope. Fair game.
And quite frankly, I should be able to use those very same words to describe anybody else.
That fits that same description.
Right. Hey, see that black guy? He's short, he's fat, and he's stupid.
He's wearing a white shirt.
See that Hispanic lady over there? She's short, she's fat, and she's stupid. So that's going to be stupid, fat, white people are going to be the last protected species on Earth.
And they're the ones making all these rules. It's stupid, fat, white people making these rules arbitrarily.
Hold on, I am that, and I'm not making any of these rules. I find them offensive, and I just
not a monolithic group.
I just don't understand where whoever gets together and says, "Hey, we went with the R word. That's out of hand. Yeah, you can't say that. So now let's think of another spaz. Yeah, spaz."
Well, I mean, calling things gay kind of has been eliminated.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, but I can.
But he has Asperger's. He is on the spectrum of autism. He's talked about it publicly, and we have to. The same people that make us and force equality among all of the underrepresented subtypes of people in this country are still messing with this guy that has a arguable handicap or abilicap. What do they call it now?
I need to start telling people I'm on the spectrum.
He has a disability that he's talked about, and instead of them
handicapable, isn't it?
He's handicapped, whatever it is.
I need to be that.
But instead of that, they're shaming
Seth, will you start
him.
calling me handicapable?
Absolutely,
Thank
sir.
you.
These hypocrites are shaming him for his own disability.
Yeah, but here's the deal, man. And he gives Asperger's a good name. I'd love to have Asperger's if I could have his fame and success.
I've known a lot of people with Asperger's. They don't really go around throwing up Nazi salutes, though.
Yeah, they're also not speaking to the entire world and don't own a multi-billion-dollar company.
And Rad, I don't want to.
Even the ones who have their
I don't
outbursts.
want to. Blow up your spot of your circle of friends, but none of your Asperger friends are also the richest men in the world. I mean, this guy
and preface it with
to do with it, though.
My heart goes out to you. I mean, he didn't do it's a different salute. Just because you bend your elbow doesn't make it a Nazi salute.
Regular people do, Dan. Even regardless of what he said before, it's not like it's just something regular people do. If a Nazi marched onto the stage and said it was a tribute to the Rockettes, that does not.
Wait, did a Nazi march on the stage? Wait, come on.
Oh my goodness!
That's his Nazi march.
You can hold on. If his introductory dance does not show that he's got some issues, I think his little heart Hitler gimmick is the least of our worries.
You know what he needs? He needs
he has no rhythm.
He needs a choreographer.
Choreographer.
Choreographer. Somebody to do it, plan out the moves ahead of time.
And here's
Just
the
give
deal.
him a number to walk through, and he'll figure it out.
And here's the deal, man. Not a one of us is wired like him.
No, Bubba, he's smart. He's a different guy. This is part of what makes him smart. But I'm just saying, when you get out into these moments where you don't normally see, my heart goes out to you looking like a Heil Hitler. I mean, that's what stands out about it.
When you put yourself out there, like, people are going to take it whatever way they take it. But Elon also should have enough social awareness to know, for a guy who is allegedly on the internet as much as he is every single day.
Well, he owns a part of the internet.
You would think he would know better, regardless of him being autistic or not.
That's what makes him so special. He doesn't care.
Or just all enamored with the amount of money he has, that's all.
Hey, I think CNN covered it. I actually think CNN covered it fairly.
I agree with you, Bubba.
They played it. And
they played it quietly, and then they played it with audio.
They played it, and then they played what he said afterwards, describing what he had just done, and they didn't really get into him too hard. And he said, they basically said that's awkward, and we've never seen that. That's fair. That's in play, by far.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah.
I mean,
it's awkward.
Even that's awkward.
He's handicapable. Sorry, guys. Stop teasing
him. This was
him.
no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay, this. You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important. Some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen.
I mean, let's not forget that somebody very close to Elon, like one of his boys, happened to be friends with Alex's boy, and they were with Elon at lunch one day, and Alex texted the dude and said, remember they were giving everybody their X back. Everybody was getting their Twitter back. Roger Stone had gotten his back. Yep. Alex Jones had gotten his back. And we were still not getting it back. Brian Matroni was writing legal letters, you know, and they were in the middle of a turnover of he had just taken over, I don't know how long, and just almost fired everybody. There was hardly anybody left, and so because of our relationship with Alex Stein, Alex got a hold of this guy who was with Elon at the time and gave our name at the Bubba Army. And next thing you know, we got our Twitter back. I don't know that we would have ever gotten it back because we were in the system of not getting it back. They were wide sweepingly giving others back when they were not giving ours.
Alex Jones got his back.
Yeah, I know. Before we got ours back, Alex got his back. So, we were on the extra naughty, never get back list, unless we got ours back because somebody made contact with this man right here. I don't know who's moving my cursor right now, but please stop.
Thank you.
Oh!
My heart goes out to you.
Oh, he should have hit us with that first.
It is thanks to you.
See, now if you would have hit it with you first, it would have been more Nazi.
Well, he hit you with the Nazi side, and then he kind of just pauses, take it all in. He's Nazi lovers.
He's in an awkward transition
again
of his speech. Hold on, listen.
Say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
And Hitler didn't invent putting your hand up.
Hitler didn't even put that much vigor into it when he had people.
Remember, it was also the Roman salute.
Hitler was real lazy. Sometimes Hitler was real lazy about it, and he'd just go.
Well,
Hitler didn't even put it over. Well, he would only do the big high spot gimmick, like when he was really wound up at speeches and stuff.
Yeah, normally he just put it straight out. It's not a curve, and also it's
almost like a limp wrister kind of.
There's two versions of it. One is grabbing your heart and throwing it out, which I think is more like the Roman gladiator salute. And then the other one, the High Hitler one, doesn't go to your heart. It just comes up and goes out.
Exactly.
It's two different things.
You don't touch your heart.
These guys are confounding them. And again, he said, my heart goes out to you. It's such a stupid...
My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. Thanks to you. We're going to have safe cities, finally, safe cities. Secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff. And we're going to take Doge to Mars.
Now, don't forget, Doge is his wing of the government that him and Ramaswamy or whatever are in charge of, which is going to go in and start finding these agencies and stuff like that spend millions and billions and zillions of dollars and try to kind of come in as like a cost-cutting agency and see where we're wasting, profound amounts of money on stupid stuff.
Ramaswamy might be out, though. He's going to be running for the governor of Ohio.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really? Well, that speech that we were just listening to, Bubba, was really filled with anti-Semitic hate. You could tell every word was, anti-Jew, the entire thing.
Yeah, well, he's Jewish.
I know. It's a silly accusation.
All right, well, listen. Let's move on because I think we're dwelling too much on it. Because I think that actually the CNN haters that made it a thing actually covered it correctly. Like they were very fair about it. As much as they maybe were trying to put, a high Hitler on him, I think that they played the clip allowed him to describe what he was talking about with regards to giving my heart to you, and then said they didn't throw any anti-Semitic or any Hitler references. They just said, two ladies said, this is awkward and we've never seen this, which is true. We've not seen that.
It's just a goofy action that's going to get people riled up. That's all.
But CNN, you would think, probably what might have made a bigger deal about it if Don Lemon would have been covering it. But these two chicks covered it correctly. It's not a big deal.
Elon said he's aspirationally Jewish.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabedo studios.
Aquabedo.com/Bubba.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Been a slow day today, Lummy.
Yes.
All the sports and political talk probably has everybody just going crazy on the
Little Trachtenberg, $50.
troll factor. Oh, thank you, Lil Wilbur. I love him. He's a good dude.
Sure is.
I thought everybody's going to have a bunch of extra money because eggs have gone down in price.
Not yet.
Everything should be going
Give
down.
it a day.
Bird flu.
Bird flu?
They're killing chickens too.
Dan, is there a I guess every winter the cold flu season kicks in and more people get sick, because I seem as though like my sister's sick right now, and a couple people I know are sick right now. It's not like COVID or flu, it's more like an upper respiratory sinus infection.
Oh,
are you seeing, being a doctor, are you seeing a lot of that?
Yes.
Because a lot of times, your friends and family will be getting a hold of you when they are suffering from various things.
Chris is suffering from it right now.
Yeah, Krista.
Upper respiratory infection, 7 days in.
7 days in.
Mm-hmm. She can't shake it.
What is it like? Hold on, let's see. Deoxycycline.
She's on Augmentin. She can't shake it on Augmentin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 7th day of Augmentin today. She called me last night. Still sick. I know everyone's been sick. I mean, literally, like, everybody I know has been sick.
Man.
It's been bad.
That's why you got to take your vitamins.
Blame it on Australia, because we pretty much mimic what they have over the summer. That's how they figure out what the flu shots are. They look at what happens in Australia, and then they give us the antidote.
The heads up.
Mm-hmm.
Lummy, I got to tell you, it's the first year that we've dealt with this new company, and they're building houses at an alarming rate in subdivisions in the Ocala area, west to west construction, and they lent us the most badass John Deere, I think 600 or 6,000 or 6,000 or 7,000 series John Deere tractor for our tiller. And that is just, oh my God. The tractor that we usually have is One-Eyed Billy's John Deere tractor, and it's far smaller. It gets the job done, but it's far smaller. With this big one that we got from West to West, it's got so much power that you just put the tiller down, and you don't have to constantly be messing with the tiller, because it's just got so much horsepower at the PTO, and it's got fully enclosed, air conditioned, like a little jump seat. It's just, oh my God. I cannot thank, I don't know who the particular person we dealt with at West to West, but thank you so very much. I'm going to find out who we dealt with and get them a little Bubba Army swag pack through Red Tape Ken. But thank you, West to West. You have made such a huge difference. Just having the right tractor, the big enough, all-wheel drive, beefier John Deere has made my life a lot easier. Thank you so much. I got to find out who's the main person over there at West to West and get them set up, but I just can't. It's all coming together. Beard Construction stepped up and got us probably. I actually drove the new grader yesterday, and
Did you love it?
Yeah, I didn't even want to get out of it. I just sat in it for a while, and it was just looking at all. It's just amazing. and then Sunbelt Rental. We got 2 new water trucks. And when you've been driving junk, because our stuff that the track owns is just old and dilapidated and has so many little idiosyncrasies on how you'd have to drive it and double clutch it and to get it into gear, and you can't go too fast on the PTO, and it's just nice to jump in something brand new that works and can spread water efficiently, and that's courtesy, of course, Bob and Kevin. I know Kevin's your boy from Sunbelt.
Yes, he's a great
I think
guy.
Merch Crick went and took some of the people from Sunbelt that didn't make the party over there and took them their little swag pack. So
that's
she's on her
nice.
way.
Nice.
Lummy, did you see that I took out the trash this morning?
That was you?
I did.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
I took out the trash this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I forgot the trash.
And don't forget we had
2025 is going to be our year, man.
And we 2025 is going to be our year because, man, by the second payroll, I'm taking out trash now. So anyway, but Lummy, I held some back because I don't know that they'll. I think they literally only pick up your big trash cans.
It depends because they were supposed to come yesterday, but obviously with them not working yesterday.
Martin Luther King Day.
Correct. So usually they kind of pick up a little extra.
I need to find out who our garbage guy is.
He's a dick, but yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's a Spanish guy that.
I was going to say, he comes at 5:45 on Tuesdays and Fridays, or is it Mondays and Fridays usually?
It's usually Monday. It's at Fridays.
What if I had the Merch Crick out there waiting for him with like a $100 bill tip?
Well, her
nice.
being different because I've tried. He does not like to stop. He does not like to. He likes to be on time because he likes to get back and done early.
All right, so
Yeah, but she can stop it.
that's what I'm saying.
She can stop a train.
Mondays and Fridays, right?
Yes.
So if I had, and he's usually here like what 5:45 on the dot.
Yeah, normally.
No, you know the times more than I do.
Usually, well, actually, he's usually coming through the street around 5:30.
All right. So if I had her out there, like in the summertime, with like a little tank top, with those Dan Diaco, 625s.
Dude, you can have her out there with a full-length jacket on, but when he's pulling up, drop it.
Well, I don't know, but just
suck away.
Well, I'm not.
Hell yeah, Sponjo!
Let's not get into breastfeeding or anything like
Let's
that.
get tape number 2 out there.
No, let's not.
No, let's not.
I don't know that the guy that works for Tampa Waste suckling on my girl's boobs are going to do much for my career.
Just to slow him down. Then
Certainly can't be any worse than what the other one did for my career. I mean,
We
right?
could go viral on Twitter. Sucky's allowed. So,
Lummy, what I'm saying is like, does he go up and beyond for us, or does he do the bare minimum?
Bare minimum.
Oh, he doesn't really.
It all depends, I guess.
Like today, I put our 2 trash cans, which he's got a machine that grabs those and dumps them, right?
Correct.
He doesn't have to get out.
No.
But the 4 other Rubbermaid trash cans that I put out, he'd have to get out of the truck and hand dump those.
And he did.
And he did?
Yes.
Then I'm giving him $50 for a Friday.
Good. And by Friday, it'll be 25.
Well, I don't know.
Start off at 100.
I'm just saying, you're right, but I mean, it was maybe 100, maybe 100.
We find out he's
So
doing
Dan,
it.
so Lummy, he did get out of the truck, and there were 3 or 4 really heavy Rubbermaid deals.
Yeah, because he stacked them all in together. So
I'm giving him. I'm giving him $100 and a couple Bubba Army swag T-shirts. Friday, I'm gonna have
Never back up to
the Merch Crick out there waiting for him on Friday and say, hey, listen, thank you. So today, Lummy,
why don't you just have him spin the wheel?
No.
okay.
I know I got it. He put it up there for me, and I can just.
I thought that was a good idea, actually.
You get a rubber duck or $100?
No, that requires me to have the wheel out there, and then every possible combination of prizes out there.
But that might blow his mind, Bubba, because, I mean, there's this thing going...
So, you know what? Just put him in the goddamn cash
So,
cube.
Bubba,
Let's just put him in the cash
I
cube
think so.
right there at 4:45 Friday morning in the parking lot. We can get the generator going.
We'll
We
go
can
live.
just,
15 seconds.
Might as well set up the tent.
No hat.
Rhett might as well go live with it. Jesus.
Bubba, I'm on the wonderful Tampa Tampa.gov. I'm very familiar with this website, and they do a great job. I looked it up because there has been a change in schedules for 2025 on all trash. So if you are in the city, check it out. But looks like ours will now be Tuesday and Friday. And Tuesday they added yard waste, so we can, so he'll pick up our extra cans.
Palm fronds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know, so it's all updated. So now it will be
$200.
Tuesdays and Fridays from here on out. But Fridays is normal, just trash.
Right. Which what we usually do.
Correct.
Because usually you'll dumpster dive around here if we got other stuff.
Yes, but they keep
Now,
taking my dumpsters though.
What do you mean they're taking them?
Take them away?
Yeah.
How many? What are you down to now that you can dumpster dive on?
No Name Willie.
That's it?
I mean, yeah,
Oh,
that's
man.
it.
Yeah, but he don't have a problem. He's
No.
and he's always got a big one.
Yeah, but he's got a big one.
He's got a big one.
President Trump got sworn in yesterday as the 47th president of the United States. There's only one other time. I think it was at Grover Cleveland or somebody like that
Yes.
did a
Gap.
a sit out. Donald Trump becomes the second one. He was 45. He was not 46, and now he was 47. This is various pictures and a list of guests that attended. Here's his lovely wife, Melania, along with his son, Barron.
Looks like Eddie Munster about to kill his mom.
Well, now, see, in this particular photo, she did raise it up a little bit where you can see her eyes, but she didn't. Maybe one of the reasons why the media is so stiff on her is because she's stiff to the media. She looks very unapproachable.
Well, Bubba, I agree. And I thought the media was really unfair to her during the first presidency. She's the only first lady that hasn't been on the cover of major magazines during the presidency. When
I actually think it was Time magazine.
All magazines. No one put her on a cover for 4 years. And this is a person that was on the cover of magazines for 20 years. And when she was first lady, they completely, literally shadow banned her from any kind of media exposure that's favorable. And again, never on the cover of Time magazine or People or anything like that. Newsweek, nothing. No covers. Glamour, nothing.
Yeah, I mean but then again, she doesn't give out a very receptive vibe.
Well, people of Eastern Europe don't really known for the warm hearts.
Maybe Donald needs to say, listen, you need to first of all, you made me look stupid for trying to kiss you. I got brimmed. And secondly, man, the American public want to see your eyes.
She's like the drill sergeant from Officer and Gentleman, Lou Gossett Jr. I sent the picture and the video to Lummy.
She was a couple steps late on the Bible swearing too.
Really?
Yeah, that's why Trump didn't touch the Bible, because she wasn't there ready to go.
Yeah.
They show the clip of him standing there with his right arm raised, and she's slowly walking into the frame.
She was
in the
too busy
background.
super gluing her hat on.
Yeah, they said the Chief Justice went super quick.
So here are various people and guests that attended the 47th swearing in of our president. Oddly enough, Lummy, as much as Hogan made a splash and got a picture with his All-American beer, and we got a Hogan excerpt when he was on Jesse Waters last night.
Prime time.
They didn't report him in this particular article. They said, so here's family members: Melania, Donald Trump Jr., and Ivanka. Was Donald Trump Jr.'s wife not there? Is he married?
I think he just got divorced. He's dating a new chick now.
Wasn't he dating that Guilfoyle?
Garfoyle?
Yeah, now she's, I think, the
ambassador to Greece
or Italy or something. Yeah.
All right. So media personalities: Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, and Lee Greenwood. Now, he's not a media personality. He's a country music star, but I guess they want to put him as a media deal. Trump appointees: Christine, is it Noam?
No.
Did she get? Now, have they been cleared?
I don't know, but they all will be.
RFK, Elon Musk, and Vivek Ramaswamy, who they're saying is the co-chair of Doge, but may not, because he might run for governor of his state. Former President Joe and First Lady Jill. Barack Obama without Mike. Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. George Bush and Laura Bush. Now,
George Bush was there.
Something's up with Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Because she's missed everything.
Prostate cancer.
Big Mike.
Big Mike's missed everything.
Had to go get checked.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden in first. And here's the thing that I regret for Trump. Even though he went on to win, I think that he kind of went out, with the J6 stuff. I think he could have. I think if you look back at it now, he could have handled it way better. Because if you look at the outcome being, he sat out 4 and then won, I think it would have helped his legacy had he. Because let's not forget, he wasn't at Joe Biden's inauguration. He didn't concede. He didn't do any of the festival / normal changing of the guard stuff. I don't think he participated in any of it. And look, Joe Biden and First Lady Jill were there. They're being good losers, right? And I think that Donald Trump was kind of a dick with regards to the way he went out.
I agree, but I think he still thinks he was cheated.
It doesn't matter.
And I think a lot of people agree with that, and that's why they reelected him. But I do commend both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for being gracious during the transition. They were absolutely classy and mature and respectful. And I think that Trump, this coming time, will be that way.
He needs to.
Well, he has to. There's no alternative.
Because the little bitch got his way.
Right.
See, I'm saying,
right.
He got his way.
He's a little bit of a bitch about it.
He was a bitch.
I agree
about it.
I agree.
Because here's the deal.
It was irritating.
You do it the right way and the respectful way, and you're there during Joe's swearing in, and you fundamentally do the welcome to the changing when, like yesterday or earlier today when Joe and Jill were standing at the steps of the White House and he said, "Welcome home." That's a class act. I don't know that Trump did that. He may have, but the J6 stuff he could have stopped, and he could have not asked Mike Pence, Kamala, even though that was his opponent. She went in and oversaw the Electoral College with no bubbles, no troubles. She fundamentally did it the correct way, and they went out. They went out with class. Joe Biden and his wife and Kamala Harris went out with class. Trump was a little bitch about it, and in today's environment as to what happened, if you go, I bet you Trump I don't know. He's probably so narcissistic that he probably doesn't even. Yeah, so I don't give a crap if I didn't do it or not. I don't care how I look. I'm the man now. Like I really think that 4 years down the road, it ends up being a bad look when he wins and they do the right thing, because they got their ass kicked. He didn't get his ass kicked. It was, and maybe that's why he didn't do all the formalities, because he felt as if it got ripped off from him. But still, I think you act presidential and you go, I don't know. Can somebody tell me, like historically, when the last time a president lost and wasn't there for the new guy's inauguration? I think that Trump might be the only. I mean, obviously JFK couldn't be, people that
he didn't lose though,
took a lick.
But he didn't lose.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, here's the deal. Was Gerald Ford
at Jimmy
Carter's?
I don't know. Probably.
And was
says there were 5 in history that didn't show up. 5 outgoing presidents.
Perfect. Thank you.
Can you name them?
John Adams, John Quincy Adams, Martin Van Buren, Andrew Johnson, and Donald Trump.
Okay, so Andrew Johnson, what year did they give you a year on that?
Give me a second.
It had to be in the 1800s.
Right, long ass time ago.
Yeah. So anybody.
Well, they're also saying Nixon.
I thought Nixon.
Nixon couldn't.
He could be there for Ford when he got sworn in as president.
Maybe it's a technicality somehow. I don't know.
Yeah,
this is WhiteHouseHistory.org. Yeah. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know if there was a technicality or not.
Hold on. Richard Nixon didn't get beat. He quit.
Right.
So that's different. Like, he didn't want to be there because he quit and he looks like a real horse's ass.
Yeah. But what about John Adams and John Quincy Adams not doing it?
Well, I mean, damn, we're not going back to those days.
Trump was the first American
They probably
president.
had a duel the night before, too, behind the old oak tree.
Trump was the
You know what I'm
first
saying?
American president in more than 150
Yeah.
years who didn't attend his successor's inauguration.
That's a bad
The
look.
last time it happened was in 1869, 4 years after the Civil War ended, when Andrew Johnson refused to attend the swearing-in ceremony for Ulysses S. Grant.
Yeah, and that's all about slavery and that kind of nonsense. This was all about Donald not winning and not getting his way. Him being there, he could have still contested the election. He could have still thought he got ripped off. But if for 150 years, fundamentally, the president, the winner or the loser, he shows up and he's presidential and he's there. So I kind of hold that against Trump a little bit. Former Vice Presidents Kamala Harris, her husband Mike Pence, Dan Quayle. Dan Quayle, man, he's still hanging on, not being able to spell potato.
I know.
From Huntington, Indiana. Major tech executives. Boy, look at. Obviously, Elon was there. So Elon, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, Zuckerberg, CEO of Meta, and what's Alphabet?
That's Google.
Oh, that's Google.
Did you see Zuckerberg getting thirsty over Bezos?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Over what?
But I mean, over Bezos's girlfriend's cleavage.
Really?
But I mean, wow, those. And if you put Elon in there,
yeah,
those are the 5 people that pretty much run the world.
Yep, 100%.
I mean, for real.
100%. Yes,
Those
I agree.
5
most powerful people in the world.
Put Elon in there,
Right.
And those are the most 5. Those are the most 5 powerful people that determine what you see and you buy.
Yeah. Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta, and X.
Yeah.
/ Tesla / SpaceX.
Yeah.
That is
/ whatever.
everything. There's nothing else, dude.
Foreign dignitaries, the guy from Vice President of China,
Zhang.
And the President of Argentina. I wonder how highly guarded they are. I mean, boy, this has to be a Secret Service nightmare, does it not?
Oh, God, yeah.
You're kidding me.
Senator Fetterman arrives
Dude, he
come
owned
on.
it yesterday.
You talk about presidential. This is just disrespectful.
It really is. Listen, I'm a sweatshirt and shorts kind of guy, but man,
Would have been
that
better
would
if
have
you
been
wore
like
sweatpants.
see the last formal thing I went to.
Yes, Lemmy.
Was no, hold on.
I agree.
The last formal thing I went to was Ronnie's wedding, and I wore a suit with cuffs and buttons, by the way. But
I bet.
I wore a suit. So like,
I think Trump likes him. I think.
I think he's starting to, suck up to Trump because he's smart. This dude's smart.
Yeah, Fetterman went down to Mar-a-Lago for a while.
He's smart, and he's like, listen, I can see that this dude is going to make some changes, and I'm going to be a Democrat, but I'm going to be a conservative-leaning, Trump-endorsed Democrat.
Makes him in the news.
And he also goes, let's not forget, he kicked ass in my swing state. My
That's true,
state,
too.
my state of Philadelphia, which was one of the states that was going to control the presidency, he kicked ass. So, based on who I represent, based on how my state went, I'm gonna be a Trump guy. Now, you can't do this. You can't. The inauguration of the president, regardless of who we're talking about, whether it's Biden, whether it's Clinton, whether it's Barack, whether it's Trump, this is almost disrespectful to the office. Like, you can't show up in a basketball shorts and a hoodie.
It's like 7 degrees out there,
You
too.
can't. Yeah, I mean, this is cold. This is being a dick.
Yep.
I mean, this is just like. I mean, it looks like he's getting ready to go play, like adult league, intramural basketball.
I mean, he is a
I
tall
thought
guy.
it was 7 degrees, right?
yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be like freezing cold, so cold that they can't have the event outside, and yet he's wearing shorts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nonsensical. I can't believe. I would hope
That would be honest to God, Dan. Your profession of being a lawyer and being a doctor, outside of when you're in the operating room, which at that point you have your own, like you're in scrubs,
right?
You're
Standard
in
scrubs,
right? You're in something that doesn't look so formal, but it's what you formatically have to wear for the task that you're doing.
Because there's no lint. The scrubs are lintless.
So, outside of when you're operating, and you're not a wear scrubs home kind of guy.
Never.
Ever. You if you're
Won't wear 'em
seeing
in a car.
if you're seeing people at the law firm, or you're doing procedures at work, or you're doing post-op at work, you don't have basketball shorts and a hoodie on.
Hell no.
I mean,
and the only time I have scrubs on is when I'm in surgery at the surgery center, and sometimes I'll put them on if I'm doing a procedure in the office, and then I take them right off.
So you're not those like some of these douchebag doctors that go to like happy hour and their scrubs,
Yeah,
so
sleeveless black scrubs.
so that women can say, "Oh, are you a doctor?" And then that open because you're a loser because you don't have a hot wife at home like Dan does, who hates him and hates me too.
Mm-hmm.
Who does he hate? Who does she hate more, me or you? Oh, that was quick.
But I'm close second, dude.
Does she ever do you ever have conversations on how much she hates me?
You ever ask her why she hates me so much?
Yeah.
I haven't in a while.
You ever talk
It hasn't
about
actually
me?
come up in a while.
All right, but
her
the
hatred for you.
last time it did come up, what's the general consensus?
You'll do anything in the world for him, and you won't lift a finger for me. That's life, kid.
She's not wrong.
No.
Hey, listen, let's just work together, Romina. If what you want done, just ask me to ask Dan, and then it'll get done.
It works that way.
I mean, look,
she needs to learn
Romina,
how
if
to
you're
work.
listening right now, look down. See those two nice things? I did that. He wasn't going to put them on you. His entire family tried. You did too. I said, Dan, you got to put some knockers on your wife. I mean, you're the knocker doctor. I mean, you're the guy that's like breasts in Tampa are named Diaco because of how good you are at breast augmentation. And of all people not to have them, your wife. And you got him.
Thanks to
That
Bubba.
should give me a lifetime pass.
You absolutely should, Bubba. And
I should be going over for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
A big Mexican soiree.
We'll have a piñata and everything.
The piñata will be of me, though.
If you love that segment, then check out BubbaArmyHQ.com and do a deep dive on past shows. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
Hey, this is Brian the Babyface Matroni, and you're listening to the best of the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Fish on the J. Love that guy. Got to spend some time with him. I said, give me a couple bluegills, Fish, on the J. He said, I'll just give you 25 on your PayPal.
Thank you.
PayPal, Venmo, Cash App at The Bubba Army. Thank you so much. You can visually watch the show, all of it at The Bubba Army, YouTube, Rumble X, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Always BubbaArmyHQ.com. And then any place that you go and get your podcasting downloads, whether it's iHeart, Spotify, Google Play, look for our roster of podcasting, if you will. I will apologize in advance and let you know that I will not be... Oh, by the way, Seth, next week I'm good. Monday, Tuesday, I'm good for the after show and Clem Kush.
Okay.
Because it's an off week, and then I have 2 weeks on. So,
okay.
No Clem Kush today, but pigmentation today.
Yes.
And other stuff.
Yeah, they're recording the conspiracy theory podcast today after pigmentation.
I got an opportunity to spend some time with those two brothers.
Me too.
And they're like, man, you really know, white guys really know how to throw parties. Because I was handing them stuff, giving them party favors and stuff, and they really appreciated that. They're like, we're not used to that.
He dropped something on stage and was looking for it for about 10 minutes.
Oh, he was?
Oh, man.
Next to I met him at the Best of the Creative Loafing thing, and I spent time with both of them.
Talking about Rio and Craig?
Yeah, I spent time with both Rio and Craig at that event for probably half an hour, and they were two of the funnest people at the party, actually.
So I think this is just after. Is this just after they swore him in and he goes to kiss his wife?
As he walked in.
And now why has anybody come up with why she was late?
Yeah.
Because I would be.
So it was late her getting up because after Chief Justice, whoever did Roberts, he went from Vance. And
No,
then
Kavanaugh did Vance.
However it was, is he was ready to go and didn't give a chance for her to walk up.
It wasn't that she was late as much as it was that Chief Justice Roberts kept things moving very quickly.
He rushed.
You know
it.
why? Because 12 o'clock was approaching.
Yep. There you
The
go.
vice president one took too long, and he was like, I got to get there by 12. And so he was like, literally started
Hold on. So
swearing
is there a
done
law
by noon, right?
Is there a law that it has to be done by noon?
Constitution says it.
So if it's not done by noon, does it make it not?
No, but that's the mandate. And so they try to follow it as closely as possible.
Right.
And that's what he was doing. He was trying to get that up there at noon. It's supposed to take like a minute. And he wanted to do it at the 12 o'clock to 12:01 minute.
So President Bush goes to kiss Melania, and she's got her state trooper hat on. And she thinks she's a state trooper.
You know how fast you were going, boy?
I'm afraid to tell you what Kendall said because you won't. She called it the Hamburglar.
Yeah, you know what? Oh my God, she's dead on. She looks
It
just
made me
like
so mad.
She does look like she's
It's
dead
the
on.
Hamburger,
Let me send me the Hamburglar because that's what Melania. And here's the thing: you're not talking about a woman that has to hide her face and eyes because she's grotesque.
Yeah, she's no Hillary Clinton.
I loved it.
She's beautiful. And for her to wear a hat that low down, as if she was like a drill sergeant or the Hamburglar,
She's just hiding her eyes out in the shade.
I just don't know why she did that. Did you send me the Hamburglar?
Yes.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh my God, it's his hat.
Oh my God.
Oh
it
my
really is
God,
his
she
hat.
was right.
It's the Hamburger hat.
It's the Hamburglar hat.
See, I thought it was like the hat from Officer and Gentleman, like the drill sergeant hat.
No.
But that's the Hamburger hat.
Yes.
Now let's see her now.
All right, so here we go. He goes to give her a kiss. Let's go ahead and blow this up here.
Oh my God! It's the Hamburglar hat.
And he goes and he can't get in.
He can't get in. The brim's too big.
Hold on. He can't get in. He can't get in.
Look how pretty she is.
Oh God! Blocks. He's
he couldn't
2
get in.
inches.
Literally.
And he's puckered up, ready to throw one on her.
Yeah, they wanted to kiss.
Yeah, air kiss.
She
His report was.
and look at now he looks perturbed. Look at him.
Well, the reports that came out is that he did that on purpose because he didn't want to mess up her makeup.
Okay.
She's got professional makeup that's like stains your face. Like, she doesn't have to worry about it. She's got waterproof, kiss-proof makeup, I promise.
And she can show half her
There's
face.
Pam Bondi in the background.
Yeah, she can show half her face and be more beautiful than anyone else on stage.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, she arguably is one of the most beautiful women in that building.
When you look at her and then
No,
they have
she
the whole
is,
stage
Bubba.
of people and you say, if you asked anybody, who's the most beautiful person in that group of people? Boink. Every time.
I mean,
She's one of the most beautiful people ever born.
I mean, she was a model. She speaks 6 different languages.
She wasn't a model. She was the model. She was one of the most important models of her time.
Well, listen, so Donnie comes in. Let me get a kiss to my wife. I'm the president. I'm in charge. Let me see. Oh, that brim's hurting my forehead. It's going to take some of my orangeness off. Retreat.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine if the edge scraped off some of the orange and he had a big white patch?
That's as close as you're getting. That's Dan trying to kiss Romina.
She speaks like Romina, too. And she
happy
probably
birthday,
gets
honey.
Cheerios.
This is the closest you're getting, Donnie. Now write that big check for my dinner bill. I'm not probably supposed to publicly speak about this, but Dan had a little. I saw Dan on Saturday. He's one of the first here. He rolls up, and we start talking. Kind of friend. Kind of like private friend stuff. And he goes and tells me that last night he had Romina's 40th birthday at Union, and he was still sick to his stomach as to how high the bill was.
But the food was good.
He said the food was good, and I got a little bit of a discount. And my brothers,
40 people.
my brothers are investors, but my God, was my bill big, like disruptive big.
And is the part of the story, Dan, where you gave him Steve's card true, where they came back and said, "You're not Steve Diaco"? You're like, "Call Jeff! Call Jeff now!" No. Did that not happen? Okay, I just thought that was like for effect. I couldn't tell if that actually happened.
Anything. They just gave the card back with the original bill.
Oh, and
I'm like, "Oh, that guys, come
Oh, so they did do it.
They didn't say
I'm
that.
not mentioning
Oh,
any.
they just didn't
I'm
say
not
anything. They just
mentioning
didn't-
any
okay.
numbers as to what
Not
the.
disrespectful.
I'm not mentioning any. I'm not mentioning any numbers as to how big the bill was. But when Dan told me how much the dinner / birthday celebrate, the all in, for drinks and food and appetizers, and and when Dan told me the bill, I was like, I've never spent that kind of money in my life, ever.
40's a big birthday, and he had probably
40 people.
Yeah, and what, 25 of them were her family?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It was
and they
a
don't
huge
care.
party.
They think Dan's rich as, like.
Well, I'm not saying it like that. I'm
They
saying
think
it was a lot
Dan's-
of people. It was like a small wedding. I mean, there's weddings that are 80 people. It was 40 people. It was basically a small wedding.
Look at Dan. He's got anxiety over it right now. Look at he's got
Am I
anxiety
wrong,
knowing
Dan?
that 30 days from now he's got to write that check to American Express. Dan better sell some hair treatment from now until the American Express bill gets done, Danny. I'm just telling you that right now. We need to push the hair treatment hard.
Yeah,
Danny needs to sell it.
8 Diacos.
If you need any plastic surgery, liposuction, rhinoplasty,
hair transplants,
male hair transplants,
female hair
We
transplants.
did one on Friday. Went really well. We did 2,200 grafts, and it went perfectly.
Now, is that an aggressive, like Seth? When you
average.
did yours 10 years ago, how many grafts did I know you know the number?
2,500.
You did 2,500.
Yeah, 2,000 to 2,500 seems to be the range that most people do. Like 1,900 to 2,400, 2,500 seems to be the range that most people do.
Right.
I
now,
know a
Seth,
guy
how
that-
long did it take when they did? You said 2,500. How?
Like 8 hours.
Yeah,
8
it's all day.
hours.
It's all day. It starts at 8 and it ends at 4 or 5.
Does it hurt?
When they numb you, it hurts, right?
Yeah, well, they give you the shot in the head.
Yeah.
But that's the only part.
But we do ours with laughing gas, so it's less.
Well, that's
Oh
better.
man.
Well, we're giggling.
I got my own. I got my own rig.
Crying.
I got my own rig. When it comes to the laughing gas, I go over to Dan's. I go over to see Dan just to do laughing gas. It puts you in such a great mood. So, Lummy, this is the entire Hogan segment.
Yes, it is.
I feel as if we're so late that if I went to words, we would be on borderline early, or at least responsibly on time.
Responsibly on time.
Before we start breaking this Hogan stuff down.
Oh, yeah.
Hogan was at the inaugural ball yesterday, and he was in character. And we've determined now that we think maybe President Trump likes the character.
I think he loves it.
I think
keep the
President.
funny man
I
around.
think Donald Trump is such a micromanager that anybody that he's associated with knows their role, And so I think, as we saw earlier, Hogan had a one-on-one picture with Donald holding his beer. If you're that
Really?
if you're that close to the president where you can get him to hold your product at the inaugural ball, I got to think that you are pretty damn close to the president, and he may have said, hey, Terry, I got Elon and I got, all these people that act, normal and, professional. I need the Hulk Hogan gimmick. I need, I need the cartoon character. That's what I like when you tear off your shirt and you do all that. I that's what I like. I got enough normalcy in the people that I hang out with. I want you to be Hulk Hogan, the one that I grew up watching.
Yeah, he's like, make me a balloon clown.
So anyway, we'll get into Hogan. He took tearing the shirt off to a whole nother level.
He sure did.
Did you see that?
Yes.
We'll do it next.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show will be back after this.
This is the best of Bubba. Stuff we randomly picked out to fill your needs while Bubba is out of town. Thanks for your continued support.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito Studios. Aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Craig and Amy on the PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, thank you. Or go to our YouTube channel and become a subscriber. Now you can follow and get notifications and everything for free. And, just listen, maybe when you watch the little commercials that we put in, maybe don't skip them. Maybe watch them. I got to think that might make a difference. Make us more money, if you will. Yes. Just instead of hit skip, just watch that damn thing and know that you just put, a dime in Bubba's pocket.
Thank you.
Dime counting son of a bitch. Thank you. Greg and Amy, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all at the Bubba Army. So as we're breaking down the 47th president of the United States' inauguration, obviously Fox, is probably out of all the networks the most pro-Trump. And so they bring in the parade of...
More than Newsmax?
No, Newsmax takes the cake, but...
Really? Is Newsmax more pro-Trump than...
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
They just don't get a fraction of the viewership.
Right.
But I don't want to let people forget about them.
You want people to know that.
Shout out to Newsmax.
If you need to really get your Trump on,
yes,
and you really want to get a boner for Trump,
what do you think I watch when I get home?
Newsmax,
obviously.
That's why I gave my props to 47 on stage Saturday night,
which is hilarious.
Which really took me by surprise.
Well, it should, and I love America.
You love America, and I heard if you were a beer drinker, although you're not, you'd be getting some real American beer from Hulk Hogan.
I'd be chugging on the Jumbotron at the Lightning games.
I wonder what kind of distribution he has. I'm sure
too much.
Having Donald Trump pretty much being... listen, we got a picture of Donald Trump holding the beer, so that's...
And here's a guy who doesn't drink beer. He's never drank alcohol ever, and he's one of the best marketing people in the world. And so, like you were saying, obviously he knows what the value was of allowing that photograph to be taken.
Right.
That photograph is invaluable for marketing that beer to people in the United States who are American citizens for a great American... it's just brilliant.
And his handlers know, it's just... In order for that photo op to have happened, Terry just didn't walk up and say, "Hey, brother." There were some decisions and some people that had to say, "Yeah, go ahead and let it happen."
For sure.
Everything that every person he takes a picture with potentially probably gets somewhat quickly vetted, and they're certainly not going to let our president of the United States, regardless if it's Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, or Barack Obama, or President Trump, they're not going to let somebody give him something to hold that they could potentially use on down the line as a marketing piece.
Right, like when someone wins NASCAR, where they're supposed to hold up their drink, right? And you give your interview, you're supposed to do your deal. That's a huge marketing thing. And so for him to hold an alcoholic beverage that he does not drink was obviously it's stagecraft. He's the master of stagecraft, from turning the parade into an executive order signing. What?
He's in all the big
25,000 people watching him sign executive orders and cheering for them. He's a marketing genius.
Here is Hogan. Speaking of marketing geniuses.
Yeah.
Here's Hogan. That has really shoehorned himself into being part of Trump's very close circle. Very close circle. And him on Jesse Waters last night.
Brother, I am so stressed out, brother. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Nobody's afraid of the old man who don't know where he's at, brother. What a day.
What a day. And now he left. We saw him leave on the helicopter.
Yeah, but wait, he's not going anywhere. You know what he's doing? Pardon me this, pardon me that, pardon my brother, my uncle, my sister, Cheney, everybody in the world. Fauci, he pardoned. The only person he didn't pardon.
I hate when Hogan tries to talk politics. I think he sounds maybe even dumber than me. I know that I'm probably not the smartest knife, sharpest knife of the drawer politically, but I don't
ever unpause this, Bubba. The shot of Hogan's face right now.
His eyeballs are ready to pop right out.
Say no more.
He's straight zooted.
was Hunter's little baby with a stripper. In case he ever does anything wrong.
Oh my gosh, nothing says I'm guilty than pardoning your entire family.
Brother, I am so stressed out. Everywhere I go, all around, everybody is so happy that we got America back.
Unless you go to Rainey's area in Oklahoma, and she asks you to pray with her, and then in the prayer is, will you please forgive Bubba? And you say, and it locks you up.
That's amazing. She told me that story.
It locks you up, and you say, I can forgive Bubba, but I can't ever trust him. Come on, Hogan.
Everybody's elated that Donald Trump is our president, but everywhere I go, nobody recognizes me.
What are you talking about?
They say, is that Hulk Hogan over there? Oh, wait, no, that might be Hulk Hogan. No, that's not Hulk Hogan.
Man, he's lost in the weeds. He is sauced.
He doesn't wear a suit. You know, Jesse, that suit is holding me down.
Uh-oh.
Just like that 4-year administration.
Uh-oh, what are you going to do?
The lies, the cheating, all the stuff that's going on, brother. I feel like the veil's been lifted and that dark cloud. If I wasn't so tired, brother, I'd just rip all my clothes.
Oh, you're not tired.
You know what?
Working the gimmick.
Hulk it up.
Working the gimmick.
Hulk it up.
Working the gimmick.
Donald Trump lifted the veil off America. Hold on, Jesse.
All right, here we go.
More border. Lower gas prices.
Yes.
We got real American beer in the house.
I wonder how sales are going with that, because you couldn't ask for a bigger push than what he's been doing. I mean, the whole.
They said it's up, and they're gaining a lot of traction.
For sure.
They're in Sam's Club, Walmart's, Total Wines, ABC's, Publix.
I wonder who owned. Like, I wonder if it was that. He's in big with that one dude that bought Ryan Howard's house.
Oh yeah, the
real loudmouth, Ben Maller.
Yeah,
Ben Mallard. I think he's the one that's the investor on Hogan's Hangout, and Bill Mallard was the one that was the investor on Hogan's Beach out here on the Causeway. I wonder if he's the one that invested in the beer. Let me do a quick Google
I'm looking
search
real
on
quick.
the.
I mean, it says
real-
obviously Terry Bollea. That's who they have it as.
Right.
But it was created by Terry Francis, Chad Bronstein, Adam, and Terry.
Does it have like investors or anything?
No.
Trump-a-mania, brother. We've got Trump-a-mania running this country, brother. One nation under God. Jesse Waters, this is your world, brother.
Yeah, baby. I know a tuxedo can't control you.
Man.
I knew there was no way Hogan was
Looks like he's blown up from tearing off the sleeves.
coming in here with a tuxedo for that long.
He doesn't have you cutting his stuff anymore for him.
Just had to do that. Thank you.
Amazing job. You are one of the biggest icons in America. You were of the generation of Donald Trump. You spoke at the convention. You're here now at the inauguration. What has this movement been like for you?
Brother, it's like when I was a kid and I could ride my bike around all night long until the street lights came on. It was like I used to be able to go to the movies and not like my bicycle up. We have our country back. We're going to get everything.
Well, I still think you probably should lock your bike up in today's environment. I mean, especially if you got an expensive one like the way Dan and Jay ride.
Back to where it should be.
I like what you said about.
Let me. If you got a junker, Pee Wee Herman beach cruiser, it's all rusted up. You might be able to. I don't know, man.
It's still gone.
The homeless black guy that lives down the street would probably take it.
You cannot lock your bike up. You trust your neighbors. We're in a good place again. This country has ambition. We're getting back to our roots, what made this country great, and we're not ashamed of who we are anymore.
But you know what is really cool? There are a lot of good Democrats out there, brother. The Democrats are stepping up too. The good ones. All those four left.
Hogan knows, Lummy, you got to throw a baby face onto the heels.
That's right.
To get them, get them to start dancing with the baby face, to get them to flip.
Rebel, crazy ones, those liberal ones, those radical left. They're the ones that are still whining and crying and trying to put a roadblock in America's future, man. I can't believe it.
We're actually hearing rumors, and I think you like this Democrat. Fetterman might actually switch parties, we're hearing.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's something that's been kicked around a little bit.
That would be huge.
Right?
That would be huge. I mean, obviously, he's well-liked in Pennsylvania, enough that he can wear basketball shorts and a hoodie to the inauguration. But, that would be, Tulsi Gabbard switched, but she was out of politics. And Fetterman still is very much in play probably for quite a long time in the Pennsylvania world, probably.
Today.
Well, if Fetterman does...
Did I mention Greg and Amy?
Yes, you did.
Greg and Amy on the PayPal. Thank you.
Switch parties. I know some place called the WWE that he could be great at, brother, just as long as he keeps that hoodie on.
All right, this is where it happened. Hogan, Fetterman in the ring. Cage match?
Who strokes out first?
Well, all I would say, brother, is what you gonna do when Hulk Hogan, Jesse Waters, Donald Trump, and all of America run wild on you.
Love you, Hulk, man.
What in? I mean, like, Jay, if you're Hogan's handler, do you tell him to turn the cartoon down a little bit? I mean, I don't know.
And all of America run wild on you.
At this particular juncture, I want to say nothing but love to Terry.
I got nothing.
I want to just say if you look at what it is, it's okay. You got two perspectives. Obviously, the Democrats think it's a clown show. They think it's way over the top. It's stupid. It's overdone. If you think about messaging for simple things, he touched on virtually everything that's going on, from the pardons to everything, and talked about the future in a bright way, and even talked about Democrats joining. And so it's a Rorschach test when you're on either side and you look at it. So everything you're saying is absolutely true if you're a Democrat. If you're a Republican who doesn't necessarily care, you just think this is a caricature to get a message across to a whole different demographic of people.
And you're on the winning side of the ball.
Right. And so they're letting him spike the ball.
Yeah.
So, but I can see both sides of that equation very easily. If you're a liberal and you're looking at this, you say, what the hell is this? This is a clown show. And then when you're a Republican and you see that he won the common man again, and he won the working class regardless of skin color, religion, race, gender, sexual orientation, regardless of all of it, he won them all in the middle class. There's a strong argument that Hulk Hogan is one of the most iconic heroes of the middle class ever.
Yeah.
Now, this part may be a little too much for me.
All right, we gotta go. Hulkamania's running wild, baby.
Ragged, brother. We're running ragged.
All right.
Running ragged. So,
that's a YouTube. That's an X clip that's right there. So, think about how brilliant it was that Trump allowed X to be reinstated during the inauguration, because kids 18 to 30 years old,
TikTok, yeah,
they're not going to watch the inaugural speech. They're not going to watch 30 minutes of them walking into Statutory Hall. They're not watching any of that. What they watch is a bunch of clips.
Hey, listen.
And that speech
yesterday when I was on the grader and I needed to, and it was like around noon or like around 12:15. I'm like, man, I've not seen 1 ounce of inauguration coverage because I'm on my phone. I'm in the grader. I can't really. So I just go to X. Sure enough, one of the channels is live feeding it.
Yep.
And I was able to get it.
But TikTok specifically, I just said the wrong thing incorrectly. Thanks for fixing that. But the TikTok thing was off. I was getting messages from people on Sunday going, I don't know what to do with my day. I can't go on TikTok. And it said, hopefully President Trump will do something. The next day he does something. And what it allowed was the inaugural speech and all of these viral moments to be created into little TikTok clips. And so his message is getting across. So now
is the TikTok gimmick just a Band-Aid on a bigger issue they need to resolve, or
Yes.
is it now a law?
No.
Meaning they still So
it's a 90-day pause.
He gave him a reprieve,
right?
A stay of an execution, so to speak, and
Right.
now they need to probably find an American company to buy and host all of TikTok here, or at least the American version of TikTok on our soil.
Correct. And he's saying that it's very interesting. I'd never seen these kind of on-air negotiations. He said TikTok is worth $0 if we don't reach an agreement. If we do reach an agreement, it's worth $1 trillion. So I propose a joint venture between the United States of America and whoever buys TikTok, and we'll own 50%, and you guys will own 50%.
Yeah, but now the government's getting involved in
I understand where you're
in the information game. I would much rather.
He just
have
wants
it,
the money.
I would much rather have it regulated by the government. Well, no, I don't even want that. I just don't. You know what? I just don't. Here's the deal. I want it hosted in America, so that the company that's harvesting all of our information is an American company.
Right.
Because we cannot lie to ourselves to think that Facebook and YouTube and Rumble and X and Twitch and everything else, Snapchat and Instagram and everything else that we use. Our iPhones are listening to us. Siri's listening to us. Alexa is listening to us.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the reason none of those are problematic is because the information they gather from us is an American corporation, and they very well could sell our data to other countries. But I think the problem in TikTok is the fact that China, who is positioned to be the bad guy for us, it's a China-based company, and we don't want China being able to obtain our listening, viewing, swiping habits like all apps that we use do, harvest all of our information. We just need an American company to buy the American version of TikTok and say, listen, you can have a Chinese TikTok that you got, and it's hosted in China for Chinese people in China, and we're going to have an American TikTok, and we're going to sell it to an American company, and they will, obviously harvest the data and algorithm the data and things like that, but the government can oversee it, just like they oversee Facebook, just like they oversee everybody else, but not get involved into the ownership. I think that's a slippery slope when our government is owning something that powerful of a news and or information mechanism.
It's an interesting point. I don't disagree with that necessarily, but I just thought it was interesting that he was saying basically you have 90 days to make a deal, and it's either worth nothing or you make a deal. And if you make a deal, the government's got to get a piece of it. And so maybe it's just the money. Will you give us 50% of the money? They don't have any control, any over the day-to-days.
I think Elon should buy it.
I think they said Mr. Wonderful may buy it. That's
Mr. Beast?
No, Mr. Wonderful, the bald guy, Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah, from Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a Canadian who's, he's very pro-America, pro-North America, really, specifically.
We don't want Cuban to buy it.
No. And so, I mean,
think he offered $20 billion because
Mr. Wonderful?
Yeah. TikTok's just being difficult.
Well, TikTok needs to realize, man, you either step up and, kind of play the game the way that the big man wants it played, or you're not going to be in here. And I got to think that the U.S. market is probably their largest market.
For sure. And, you
because
got to
in China, they're not allowed to see what we see. They heavily edit.
And restrict.
Do they?
Yeah.
China, they were celebrating that the Americans were gone for the 12 hours.
Well, I'm just saying they
said what a nice place TikTok is.
Well, because they're not allowed to see near the stuff we do. The Chinese government is very regulatory.
I think there's a Chinese app called Red Note, I believe, that people were going to for those hours as well.
Red Note?
Yes, when people were desperate for apps.
Was there a Bubba hater page on that too?
We're getting it started.
What about you? What are you doing?
Kid Rock.
What about you? What are you doing? Where are you at?
Well, I'm standing on a rooftop in these very, very chilly conditions. We'll be on air for 11 or 12 hours, so I don't think I'll have anywhere near as fun a day as you have planned for yourself there. That sounds like you got the better deal here, indeed.
I mean, I can't see you right now, so I don't know what you look like.
That's what you would say, Bubba. Exactly.
Bob Ritchie getting a little thirsty. Seth, does that come across a little thirsty?
You know what, man? It's just Kid Rock, man.
He's rock and
I look
roll.
like I'm ready to hit the slopes, I can tell you. I'm in full-on ski gear here with my hat, gloves, the whole thing, ready to rock, because you got to be wrapped up against the elements, don't you?
I love to go skiing. I love to go skiing. You sound sexy. You want to go with me?
Well, we won't get into that right here. So we're doing no skiing today. We've got a day of broadcasting to do. But right. Kid Rock, thank you so much for joining us here on BBC News. Enjoy your day.
What about you? What are you doing?
Man.
Look at his smile at the end. He knows.
Yeah, he's like,
we can't do that today.
I think deep down he didn't want to do the interview, so he's like, watch how fast I can get this thing canceled.
He did it.
But she didn't say no.
No, I mean, she didn't. He's probably got his handlers reaching out to her handlers. Well, first of all, he's probably got his Lummy getting him a picture of her.
First thing.
And now he's going to either extend or decline or take back the skiing invitation. I think he lives full-time now in Nashville.
Yeah,
I thought he lived in Alabama.
He has a huge compound over there.
Yeah.
Not in Alabama at all?
No,
Oh.
I heard like he has a replica. You might be able to research it. I heard he had a replica of the White House on the hilltop in Nashville. He sold his big. He might still have his place in Detroit, but he bought what is like a replica.
It's true.
Of the White House in Nashville.
He calls it something too. Hold on.
And I forget.
Yeah,
it's like.
Lummy, you gonna get it to me?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that video for you.
And his bar in downtown Nashville does like $2 million a month, and it's 5 or 6 stories.
I sent you,
and he'll like just do impromptu concerts and things like that. And then let me find me his bar in Nashville. It's I think
it's
it
like
might
the rock and roll.
I think it might be the most. It might generate out of all bars or nightclubs in America. It's the busiest, most profitable, or highest grossing bar in America.
This is Kid Rock's old house, and this is Kid Rock's new house. And if you think that it's totally bananas, wait until you see what's on the inside. I'm Madison Hager, and we actually got a tip that Kid Rock had built a replica of the White House in Nashville.
And then that was my own little plane. I have a little prop plane that flew up there.
You got like 2 minutes and 6 seconds.
Really fun. Flew over Kid Rock's house.
2 minutes and 6 seconds.
Yeah, it shows gold toilet. I mean,
so
it's
now is this like his old house right here?
Yeah, that's what they tore
At
down.
$89,000 a piece on the spot. Then he had it wrapped in camouflage, kind of like you do your truck. It's where he's lived for over a decade. Talking to Fox News and Tucker Carlson, Kid Rock appreciated the irony of moving from a double wide into the White House.
So he was in a double wide, Lummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends like Joe Rogan had been to the house, describing a 20-person jacuzzi in detail after sharing amazement that the 27,000 square foot pad has only 2 bedrooms. Quote, the rest of the house is party, Rogan said. Yeah, that sounds like Kid Rock, doesn't it? I mean, what?
2 bedrooms on a 28,000 square foot home.
A church?
That means, you know what? I don't want a lot of guests spending the night, but the one that does is going to have a big room. But I want to have a lot of area to party. But at the end of the night, you need to go home and not stay the night.
Inside, you'll find a bowling alley because apparently Kid Rock loves bowling. And there is actually a church he owns nearby, but he turned into horse stables. There's also a bathroom made out of gold. Literally, he has a gold urinal, gold brick walls, and, per Rogan, a golden shower. Okay, now no jokes, please, because I do not want to get demonetized. 2 more things.
Oh, God.
Zach Brown is a friend of Kid Rock and apparently both like antiquing, so it was Zach who found his bed for him. Zach also found this eagle, which was brass, but Kid Rock needed it to last.
All right, enough of that. So, yes, I was
He has
correct.
White House, yes.
Lummy, did you find Kid Rock's nightclub?
Yeah, the big ass honky tonk rock and roll.
Did you send it to me?
The website, yes.
I don't have it. Okay. Let me see if you can resend it because supposedly the big ass. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
The big ass honky tonk steakhouse is the most profitable, highest grossing nightclub in America.
And he just goes and performs there all the time.
Yeah.
Pitty's wife, Wendy, and the daughter went to Tennessee, and they ended up hanging out there and said it was an incredible night, one of the funnest nights they've ever had.
My sister went, I don't know, a while back. She had some kind of Nashville's turned into a real destination spot for conventions and bachelorette parties and things like that. And here, photos. This is. I think this is just the maybe the food portion. But it's
look at the nightclub part, the club right there, about 4 photos down on the right. They'll show like the interior bar. Yeah, look, he'll just go perform in that little intimate setting.
Yeah, I heard there's 6 floors of it. It's 5 or 6 floors. Here that. I guess that's a few floors, but there's some basements and upper floors and things like that. So, and I heard it did like $2 million a weekend or something. What? So here's Trump. Is this like the top moments?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's 10 minutes of the top moments of Donald Trump's acceptance speech.
Yes, because his speech was about 40 minutes.
A crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot...
Now, do all presidents tend to tell you how messed up the last 4 years are? Does that set them up then for what they're going to do? Like, I've historically not analyzed, like the last president would have been Biden. I didn't see Biden's acceptance speech. And then before that would have been Donald, and then before that would have been Barack.
Preserving democracy, and so the thing that bothers me about this is the first few minutes of his speech was very uplifting and very conciliatory.
Of this
one. The first 3 minutes was beautiful. This is the golden age of America, and this is and he went through a whole thing. It didn't start off with blasting Biden. It took a few minutes to get there. And so I just, he said that. But that was not the tone of the speech.
A simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly. And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. Or more recently, Los Angeles, where we are watching fires still tragically burn from weeks ago without even a token of defense. They're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is unable to do anything about it. That's going to change. We have a public health system that does not...
Now, does Melania have like a veil?
No, that's the screen.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's the teleprompter. I thought she turned her Hamburglar sword into a beekeeper gimmick. I mean, for me, doesn't it kind of look? If you look at it,
it does. There,
it looks like she's got some netting around there.
It looks like it goes over her shoulders.
She's like, I'm going to go from the Hamburglar to a beekeeper. This is going to be a hornet's nest. And how do you feel if you're Biden and you're sitting here, and basically,
the stink faces is what was like I was trying to say about TikTok. So there's a conglomeration of all of the facial expressions that are going around that are just hilarious when he's saying these things, and they just can't stand it. Because he's saying basically everything that you guys did before I came, I'm going to now undo. And they had to sit there and take it.
Deliver in times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of themselves in many cases, to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately to provide to them. All of this will change starting today, and it will change very quickly.
And again, this was,
that ear's looking nice, man.
It is, man.
He had
It's
a good plastic
untouched.
surgeon.
Again, this has been moved from the outside to the inside. Usually there would have been, maybe 100,000 people?
Oh, yeah. Multiples.
My recent
There's that little
election
nick
is
there.
a-
You see it up there? Seth, it's
Oh, yeah,
tiny.
yeah.
That's where it is right there. Those little two little nibs up top there.
Right here?
Yeah. Yeah. That was where it was, between those two things.
Man, how lucky.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan said, I looked at it, I saw it, it was real. He's like, he was trying to squash all the rumors that, it was a piece of glass. He's like, I looked at it, I saw it.
completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over.
God, since you said that, I haven't heard a single word. I've just been looking at his ear. I can't stop looking at it now, Seth.
Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government. Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history, and I've learned a lot along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can tell you. Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is why each day under our administration of American patriots, we will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength. We will move with...
Look at Bill. Oh, wait.
His face wide, mouth wide open like an old dude.
Oh, wait. I remember when I used to be up there being the main man.
J.D. Vance is really man-spreading, though.
Yeah, he is.
Sure is.
He really is. He must have a big wiener.
Well, and he's got the Trump tie thing now. He's got his tie way long, longer than I wear my ties on purpose.
I think Pam Bondi's right here.
She is.
Yeah, there's Bondi, and there's the beekeeper, and then
That's Christine Nome, Vivek.
Is that Vivek?
Yeah. Elaine Stefanik over there.
Is Elon up here anywhere?
He's over there to the left still too. He's behind. That's Mike Waltz right there.
He's behind Barron Trump.
Okay, so he's
right behind him. You just can't see him.
Yeah.
Barron's enormous.
Isn't Barron like 6'5"?
6'8", I think.
Yeah.
Purpose and speed to bring back hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day.
In front of them all. It became what it is it almost became a State of the Union address, where half of the audience stands and the other half doesn't.
I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices.
Look at Joe.
I mean, how can you not clap for rapidly bring down prices and costs? Nope.
Look at Bill. Oh, wait. Hey, Hillary. You listen to this stuff going on over here?
The inflation crisis.
Man, he's really giving it to Joe, ain't he?
This was caused by massive
I mean, hold on, Bill. If you look at Bill's putting it over.
He's enjoying it.
He looks happy.
Look at Bill. He says something to Hill Dog right here. Watch.
Oh, wait, man, he's really
The
giving it to him.
inflation crisis was caused by massive
Man, he's really giving him hell.
overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a...
He's going, hey, Joe, you're really taking it, buddy.
I love the people watching behind because that's the way I've been watching it because his face looks right. You're right. It's hilarious.
Bill's the only one, even on the Republican side of things, Bill is the most animated.
He's fully engaged in this speech, every word.
Where's George W.?
He's behind Kamala to the right, I think.
Yeah, he's to the right of
Over
Clinton.
here?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Where presidents were.
national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
Look at Bill. I drilled, but it was an intern.
Want to listen to the show on demand and on the go? Enlist today at BubbaArmyHQ.com. Sign up and start listening. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Now, back to the best of Bubba. If you haven't noticed we left, then please disregard this message.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabedo studios.
Aquabedo.com/Bubba.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Again, Lummy, the West to West construction. This guy's name's Levi. He's the one to put together that badass deal for me to have that tractor. So thank you, Levi. I appreciate you, my friend. Makes a huge difference. Levi and West to West. Appreciate you.
Michael Rucker, 25.
What was that, Lummy?
Michael Rucker, 25. And Neil Malplaisir, 25.
Thank you, Neil Malplaisir. Go back. Well, it's kind of like. Go, Pat, go! I mean, like if you're basically if you're an NFL football fan, basically your team's probably out of it. You know, Seth's team's out of it, my team's out of it, Lummy, your team's out of it, Red's team's out of it.
My team's winning the offseason. That's all I care about.
Is that all you care about?
That's all you can care about.
Well, I mean, you got probably a huge victory in the signing of your new head coach, which is supposedly is going to happen today.
I cried.
You did?
Yes, sir.
That happened yesterday.
Is he signed? Signed, sealed, and delivered?
I mean, when Adam Schefter says he's going, it's happening. I don't know if the ink's dry, but
Aaron Glenn and the Jets is what's happening today.
Really? Is Aaron Glenn going to keep Rodgers? Probably not.
Why?
Yeah, I know he's a cancer. They're saying if there's any place he goes to, it might be Pittsburgh. And aren't you kind of feeling now the Dion to Dallas deal kind of dwindling down? That's
I think you're right. I think that's gone. But can you see? I mean, Russell Wilson had a pretty good year. Why would they bring him in there, Rodgers?
Yeah, that would make sense.
I know.
I think Russ offers more at a similar age.
Do they keep Justin Fields?
Well, Russell Wilson had a pretty damn good season.
I think they should, depending on what they do at the OC position. If they address it at all, they could hang on to Arthur Smith for another year. But if they make some changes, I think that roster is going to need to be revamped. I think we said that last week at some point.
Yeah.
Like the Steelers are, if they're going to hang on to Mike Tomlin, then they need to revamp that roster again. It is time.
Is Tomlin on the hot seat?
Yeah, he is.
Is he really?
Wow,
He
of
is
all.
real. I mean, he's
the longest tenured head coach in the NFL.
And the
7
only
straight
team
years
with
of
only
first-round
3
exits
head coaches. I'm sorry to talk over you, Rick. Go ahead.
No, you do
good.
that a
Go
lot,
ahead.
though, Jay. You're good at it.
I'm sorry.
You're really good at
Sunny
it.
days, $100.
Because you know why? You're not used to not being the lead guy. So when you're, not the lead guy, you just blurt it out. People, you feel people will eventually shut up around you. Well, everybody here is shooting, is shooting for territory.
Guilty.
What were you going to say, Rhett? Isn't he the longest tenured head coach?
Currently, yeah.
God, you would never. I mean, like he's made the playoffs all, but like maybe 2 or 3 years.
He always gets a positive record. He's never finished with a losing record as a head coach.
What tree did he? What tree did he come from? Did he come from the? Did he come?
Dungy?
Dungy
It was
tree.
Dungy.
He
He started off his first job. He was an assistant to Dungy in Tampa.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And didn't Dungy win a Super Bowl there?
What?
No, Dungy did not win a Super Bowl
Did he
here.
lose a Super Bowl there?
No,
Dungy
Pittsburgh?
didn't make it to the Super Bowl with the Bucks.
No. I meant as a player.
Oh, I think Dungy
Played for
did,
the Vikings.
Yeah.
He
I
didn't
thought
play for Pittsburgh
I
for a
thought
second?
he played for Pittsburgh, too.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not very good with stats on sports, but I'm pretty sure he played there.
Yeah, he did.
I think he might have played there when Big Woody played there.
Yeah.
Him and Tony.
There was a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers that attended BARP this year.
Really?
Yeah, the Riverboat Gambler. Big Woody. He was on, what year was I think Woody was on the Steelers like 82 to 87. And he came out of Boise State, didn't he?
Yeah, and he came to the Tampa Bay, I think.
Then he was in Tampa Bay like 87 to 88, and then he ended up retiring down here.
Yes.
A lot of people, as they wrap their career up down here, they're like, this is a nice place to retire. Even though I'm not. Go ahead.
Just about Pittsburgh. Tomlin's not going anywhere, though. I think a lot of the problems is with the fan base. They're tired of the mediocrity. They don't feel like they're getting anywhere.
I like
they don't
that.
feel like they're going to make it back to the mountaintop.
I like that. Blame it on the fans.
Yeah.
I like it. It's probably one of the only places that you can get to, and you can do that and pull that off. All right. Let's get back.
Nation once again, and we have something that no other manufacturing nation will ever have, the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it.
So hold on, do we? Like they always say, like Saudi Arabia and all these other, maybe northern Canada and Russia have large amounts of oil and gas. Do we have the most?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We do?
Yeah, you got, because you got
Alaska,
the oceans.
Mm-hmm. The Gulf of America.
And so we just don't aggressively go get it as much as we can?
Fracking opened up a whole different line of fossil fuel to us about 15 or 20 years ago. And so a lot of the restrictions that the Biden administration put on were fracking restrictions. And so fracking allows us to get a lot of untapped energy that we didn't know existed decades
Is
ago.
fracking technology that we didn't have 20 years ago?
Right, maybe 30 years ago, but yes.
And I think it's my understanding from watching Landman. Jay, have you started that?
Mm-mm.
What?
You didn't tell me. Everything you told me to do, I do. What did you say?
Oh, my God.
Landman?
Yeah, Landman. Okay. It's from the Taylor Sheridan. He's the showrunner, the guy who invented Tulsa King, Mayor of Kingstown, Yellowstone, all that guy. It's called Landman. It's with Billy Bob Thornton. And God, who's the two chicks on it, Lummy, that are just absolute smoke
Two
shows?
hot blondes.
The mom,
who's been around forever.
She's like the hottest MILF ever. And then her daughter, who in real life we can fret over her. She plays a high school senior. No, Lummy, she's actually done with high school, getting ready to go to Texas Tech.
Yeah, she graduated.
She plays like an 18-year-old blonde chick, but in real life she's 26, so we can say inappropriate things about her. But she is about as hot as it gets. Seth, have you seen Landman?
No, I have not.
Rhett?
But it's on my to-do list. Number 1, Landman.
No, but it's on our list too.
Man,
I'm watching through the bear right now.
And it's all Jay based on the Texas oil industry. And Billy Bob Thornton, he's the man that runs this smaller sized oil company, and his wife is the hot MILF chick. Lummy, do you got the trailer? Can you send me the trailer?
Yeah.
But through this show, I have learned about fracking, and supposedly fracking's kind of a pain in the ass. Like it's very labor and very, very extensive. But I guess it's kind of where they get into the...
Send your trailer.
Did you send to my trailer? Yeah. It's my understanding, Jay, that fracking is where they take old wells and kind of maybe through water and things like that, get fine pockets of old oil or something like that. And again, I could
you're so actually close to it. Fracking or hydraulic fracturing is a technique used to extract oil and natural gas from deep underground rock formations. It involves injecting a high pressure mixture of water, sand, and chemicals into a well to crack the rock and release the oil or gas.
How about that?
And so,
how about that? I bet you a lot of people really don't know what fracking is, and I just nailed it.
I couldn't have described it like that. I looked it up.
I sent you a 1-minute video because
I knew it was natural gas, and I knew it was a new technique. And so when we figured out this technique, now we realize that we have so much natural gas, and natural gas is much cleaner than crude oil.
Well, in a lot of these wells that they thought were done, they now can go and frack these wells. and bring them back to life based on this new technology. Here, is this fracking?
Yeah, it's real quick.
What is fracking? It's short for hydraulic fracturing. It's different from the traditional way of getting at oil and gas reserves. First, a well is drilled to reach shale. That's the type of rock that traps natural gas and oil. Then a cocktail of water, sand, and chemicals is pumped in at high pressure. That fractures the shale, forcing natural gas and oil back up to the surface. That's often brought on economic booms for regions that weren't doing so well. So what's the controversy? What to do with all the leftover toxic wastewater? A lot of it ends up being pumped deep underground. That's got some people worried about polluting drinking.
So is that why environmentally they're afraid of fracking, because it's got a byproduct of all the water that they use to frack this material is now,
that's the counter argument,
is now, polluted, and you have to find something to do with this water. I don't know. Why don't we drill?
They have a way to dispose of it safely. They say that's
they probably clean it. They probably. I mean, listen. We can take water. We can take the water used for our sewage that we're pooping into, and they can clean it enough that they can use that water then for fields and for fertilizer and things like that. So if we can clean water that I just pooped in, almost clean enough to almost drink, we can certainly clean water that's fracked a well. So we could.
That's some good rationale, Bubba.
I mean, I'm thinking about it. I mean, the water that I use
the
in
poop
my
water argument.
Okay, my big ass log that I'm going to lay here later today. Listen, my mom used to work for the Warsaw sewage, plant. Sewage, she did the collection billing portion, but after they go through their various steps, these sewage treatment plants, the water is almost drinkable. But they lay it on fields and use it for irrigation and things like that. That's what all of your that's what reclaimed water is. Basically, water that used to, be sewage has now been cleaned to the point where you can use it on your lawns and things like that. Well, they'll do the same thing with fracking. They'll take out all the bad stuff and let it be water that you can use agriculturally, I'm sure.
Applies. And scientists say the process can cause earthquakes, but they argue over just how big and how many.
Want more? Download the...
No, I don't want more. Thanks.
Yeah, it says we have 2.175 trillion barrels of potential oil, which is the largest in the world.
So here's the trailer for Landman. Jay, to see if you potentially might like it.
Welcome to the oil business.
By the way, Demi Moore's in it. That's the owner's wife.
Oil and gas industry makes $3 billion a day in pure profit. And it's only getting bigger. But before any of that money is made, you got to secure the land, then manage the people. That's my job. First part's pretty simple. It's the second part that can get you killed.
That's his wife.
Convinced itself that you are evil and I am evil. For providing them the one thing they interact with every day.
That's his daughter. That's his wife and daughter.
Getting oil out of the ground is the most dangerous job in the world. We don't do it because we like it.
That's a dude from Mad Men.
We do it because we run out of options.
Everybody's whole family works the patch.
Roll the dice one last time.
Stick with beer, you want something stronger?
I quit drinking. I'll stick with beer. Welcome to the oil business.
You're gonna love the character. Let me. Are you on Landman?
Yeah,
you're on Landman.
I've not met one person that has not liked the show.
How do you watch that on your? Because we have the same setup, Bubba. Do you go to is there just like a TV show area, or do you need to go to Paramount, or
I don't know. I'm
Is it Netflix? Where is it?
Shazam Briz.
Well,
That's a good trailer. That actually looked interesting, didn't
Well,
it?
it did. No, it looked really good. I mean,
I got a special gimmick.
I got a special gimmick. I just re-upped 6 months, $90.
I don't know if you got what I got.
I don't have access to. I have every channel in the world, but I don't have Landman.
Yeah, maybe not.
I get mine through
Paramount.
No, well, Paramount because we get it free through.
Isn't there a Paramount section in there, Seth?
I know there's a Peacock section, but I got to look deeper for a Paramount section.
Look deeper for a Paramount. You might find it there. If not, I'll have to give you the Iggy.
Okay.
Because there is an Iggy on the deal.
It looks good.
Oh,
it does.
It is so good. Again, let me say, he has not met a guy or a person that didn't like it.
Correct.
Like Breaking Bad. I mean, that was kind of
it's pretty damn close.
Nobody hated Breaking Bad.
Pretty,
at least at the time.
I just saw an article that the house that Walter White lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
$3 million?
Yeah, all the other houses are like, 350, 400. And they're all the same layout. Like they're cookie cutter little houses, and they're all just like, just regular houses
in New Mexico.
And Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the house that the Breaking Bad series was filmed in is up for sale for $3 million.
People come by there all the time.
The
owners do not like it.
It would be a pain in the rear end unless you could Airbnb it.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
make some money on that.
I think they just want to get out of there. Because one of the scenes in the show is Walter White throwing up a pizza on the roof, so people go by there and they'll throw up pizzas on the roof.
What?
Yeah,
they posted that house for
people
sale
still hate his
ago.
wife.
Yeah.
Oh, Skylar.
Yeah. She still gets heat whenever she goes out because people still feel so strongly about the character Skylar.
Could
People
anybody
who live there at that house they shot the show at listed it a couple of months ago? They said they're sick and tired of people coming up and taking pictures.
$3 million.
But I mean, who's gonna? I mean,
nobody's gonna pay that.
Only somebody that made Breaking Bad that would buy that house.
Yeah.
I don't even know if a huge fan would pay 10 times what it's worth.
When we return, before we end the show, quick little slew of executive actions in immigration, economy, and other programs that Trump signed.
Did the J6ers get free?
I don't know if all of them got free or a few of them.
I saw even the Proud Boys are getting out.
Well, we're gonna quickly look into that next.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
We might be off, but those bills keep coming. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all at the Bubba Army. Now back to the best of Bubba. Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios. Aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
843 Bubba Lummy stepped up. $100. Love you, my friend. Thank you, 843 Bubba. It was good seeing you. So sorry.
There's blizzards going on in Louisiana. Is that standard? It doesn't seem.
No, this is very much a non-standard weather event happening globally.
Yeah, this looks.
Or at least I should say happening within our country.
Okay. Is it should we stay inside? Do we need to bring our plants and animals inside? Because
plants and probably cover them.
Yeah,
bring them inside and cover them.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's really cool.
Bring them inside and cover
them.
No,
like cover the outside ones you can't bring in, and bring in the ones that you can bring in.
Yeah.
Do you cover the outside pets?
Are you that guy, Lummy, that you cover the plants?
I have to. The plants I haven't planted yet. That haven't been planted because Average Joe's waiting for it to warm up.
Why don't you just bring them in the garage and talk to them all night? That'll keep them nice and heated.
Lummy, I don't know that I have an opportunity to go through the bills and the things that Trump signed. I will say this. It says Trump grants sweeping pardon of all of January 6 defendants, including rioters who violently attacked police. It looks like he's vowed to dismiss the cases of all 1,500 plus people charged with crimes. I don't necessarily agree with that. There are some people that did some pretty egregious things, including some violent attacks on police.
There's a couple people that were facing 18 years that are getting out a little early. But, if they're They got their guy. Maybe they're not ever going to do something like that again.
I don't know, man. I think there's probably a happy medium from letting them all out to letting most of them out.
You know what, Bubba? I mean, I think you got to let them all out, or you got to keep them all in.
Yeah, I mean,
it's tough to decide which one. I know some people just had misdemeanors and all that, but I mean, I think for all the people that went to jail, it'd be hard to cherry pick some over the others.
Donald,
looks like it is 1,100 out of the 1,500.
Then they have 6 or 8 that they're still waiting to decide if they're going to commute or if they're going to do a full pardon. But Seth provides very interesting insight. And one of the things that's a big difference between what this pardon is and what Biden did by preemptively pardoning his family from 11 years of any potential crime is all of these people paid the price. They were convicted. A lot of these people have been in jail. Some people were in jail for solitary confinement for months.
And they're still in jail.
And so it's been years for if you violently attack somebody and you hurt them, what's a reasonable punishment, Bubba? 3 years?
I don't know. But
they
Melania
can't go within 50 feet of the White House, okay?
Melania doesn't look like she wants to be there either. Look at that's the formal dance of the inaugural ball. She looks beautiful. She just looks like she's not into it.
It looks like he grabbed her by the kitty cat.
He grabbed her by the pee?
Yeah.
We can get into more of the stuff that the laws and then all the pardons. That Joe Biden basically gave every relative that's related to him a blanket immunity for anything that they could potentially come up with.
Which has never been done in history.
Right.
Preemptive pardons has never been done.
So we got that going for us as well. Seth will be doing several podcasts today, including Operation Pigmentation and then the Conspiracy Show. So you look forward to that. And please go download it if you could, please. Spotify, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasting. Just type in the Bubba the Love Sponge or Bubba Army, and it'll take you right to our podcasting world. You can always go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian, Lummit.
It's Seth, co-host and president of podcasting.
It's Brian Matroni, king of counter programming.
Rhett, the filthy ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire, of Council.
Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra, of Council.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repair hello.